I'm Nate Putterbaugh with your sports update. The Cincinnati Reds were back in action last night, beating the Colorado Rockies 7-2. Spencer Steer hit 2 home runs, including an inside-the-park homer in the 8th. They square off again today at 3:10 with Rhett Lauder taking the mound. Catch coverage over on the Fan 2. The Cleveland Guardians game against the Pittsburgh Pirates was postponed due to air quality. They'll play a doubleheader today, Game 1 starting at 1:10. World Cup action today sees France and England squaring off in the third-place game. That starts at 5. WNBA action last night saw Caitlin Clark set a league record with a first-ever 45-10 double-double performance as the Indiana Fever beat the Seattle Storm 110-107. And across the pond, it's the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale in Southport, England. Lucas Herbert heads into the weekend in the lead at 8 under par after a record-setting 62. Cameron Young, Ryan Gerard, and Jackson Suber sit 2 back. Herbert and Suber tee off at 10:50. Breaking sports news weapons to the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
The Fan is live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. The Fan Sports Day of the Week. Oh, this is some clever branding. Here's your host, place, name, here.
All right, I think I take back what I said about this summer. I kind of want off this ride. Happy Saturday, everybody. Eric Rieser, you heard Nate there in the update. Dylan Tyrer, rolling along with you for the next 3 hours. Dylan, I've always said don't wish the summer away for football season. Obviously, in old Columbus town here, the one thing we look forward to above anything, sorry Christmas, sorry Thanksgiving, is Ohio State football season. But I always caution listeners, and I've done so ever since I started, turning a mic on in this town, is don't wish for that in June. Don't wish for that in May. Don't wish for that in July. It'll get here. Don't wish your summer away. But after a week that's had excessive heat, that's had parasitic explosive diarrhea, and that yesterday had toxic fumes from Canadian wildfires, I think I'm ready for it. Because I don't know if any of that follows us into football season.
No, I think you're right about that. And I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I never wish the summer away living in the Midwest, right? Like, you can't get enough of the warmth, the sunlight. I love golfing and being out there. But to your point, you walk outside yesterday, you're like, I can't go golfing in this. This is bad. I took a walk yesterday morning, and by the end of my walk, I felt horrible. It's like, I can't breathe this air. And I grew up in Southern California, close to wildfires. Like, I'm used to this, but this is really bad. Yesterday was really bad. And I drove down to Cincinnati by the end of the evening, had to drive through a storm to get there, but the smoke had dissipated. Like, it was really bad halfway down there, but you drive to Cincy and it's not there. You're like, okay, this isn't so bad anymore.
So even after you get the smoke clearing out, then you get thunderstorms. I know over at Huntington Park, they were waiting all day to monitor the air quality because obviously baseball's back from the All-Star break, so the Clippers had, a weekend series that they wanted to get in. And for minor league baseball, you got to play every game you can. And I've always made the joke that minor league baseball, they will wait until the tornado touches down on the mound before actually calling a game. Yeah. You got to play. They had to postpone their game last night because of the air quality. They were going to do fireworks, didn't do the fireworks, didn't want to create more smoke, and then rain and thunderstorms came in. So if you have tickets to the Clippers game, I think they're still good for today. I think they're going to try to play 2 over at Huntington Park. But we've got a lot to get into from the sports world because this hasn't really been an off-season for anybody. For football, college, pro, for the NBA especially. Like, we're on day 79, it feels like, of LeBron Watch.
When's this decision going to come? It's got to be after the World Cup, right? Like, the guy knows what he's doing.
I think he already knows.
He's going to create some appointment television for us like he did back in the Heat days.
Yes, so this harkens back to when he was making the decision the first time. Because I think he did a second decision, but it was Hennessy or Cognac. I forget which of the two he did, but he teased that, and we're like, what could this mean? Because he's played around with free agency for the last several years. Now, being a free agent for the first time, I think, since 2018, he's got his decision made up, but I think he wants the headlines. Yeah. And you heard Nate there in the update talk about so many other things that are happening in sport. Like you had mentioned the World Cup. You got the consolation game today between, England and France, 5 o'clock, and then tomorrow's the World Cup final. You got the British Open going on right now over at Royal Birkdale. Caitlin Clark had the first 40-10 game in WNBA history last night. Baseball's back from the break. Even in this market, you've got the NHL. I don't necessarily think Blue Jackets went into this offseason thinking you'd be worrying too much about Zach Werenski, but over the last month, there's been a lot of that.
It's like the first time ever All-Star Week isn't the death of Sports Center updates.
Yeah. Like, there was even that this week, and I from the Netflix numbers, not too many people tune into the home run derby, but I think that's Major League Baseball kind of shooting themselves in the foot there by making you seek out something that usually is just, oh, that's on. Well, here, I have this channel. Let me just click over to it.
We have been blessed, though, right? Because
it's great for us.
This hasn't been a dead time for sports fans in general. And then you have NFL training camps opening up in, 2 weeks? So we're going to have a week without anything to talk about? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, this will be a 3-hour show that's good. In the blink of an eye, we're going to be at 1 o'clock. We thank you for making us a little bit a part of your Saturday. Hope everybody's staying safe. Staying cool, staying diarrhea-free out there.
I really hope so.
At any point, if it looks bad in your fridge, throw it out.
If you're listening from the bathroom right now, we appreciate
sorry.
you and feel sorry and apologize.
I've so far, and my family so far, been able to avoid it.
Yeah.
Because we check the lettuce, the spinach, the spring green. We check that pretty religiously.
Just avoid Taco Bell right now, right? I feel like that's Taco Bell is supplied by the lettuce farm that this has come from.
I don't want to tell people, especially if you're doing some day drinking, that bleeds into the night, and you want your Taco Bell fix. I don't want to tell anybody what they have to change their habits. But yeah,
maybe eliminate the lettuce. Hey, without lettuce
for a
this
month,
time.
Something else that can do you in. Third round, moving day at Royal Birkdale of the British Open. So. Again, Nate there in the update said, who's your leaders? You got Ryan Fox and Lucas Herbert at 8 under. Fox is 8 under on the day. He's already in the clubhouse. Herbert is going at 10:50. Cam Young, Ryan Gerard going at 10:40. Both of those golfers are at 6 under. The news really from yesterday was Bryson DeChambeau, who, upon leaving the course, thought he was going to be tied solo for second. And then a couple of officials from the R&A came over and said, well, we've got to have a discussion here. And it was about a shot on 5 where DeChambeau hits it into the rough. And while he's going to collect and kind of assess where his ball's going to go from there, he stamped down the tall grass. And because it's Bryson, I don't think he knows how to do anything subtly. Like, he's not a guy that can just kind of walk and shuffle his feet and
There's not a lot of nuance
down.
To Bryson DeChambeau.
You watch the videos, and he's kind of stomping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's kind of throwing the pre-temper tantrum, and he bogeyed the hole eventually, and then he would get to the round, and I think he was going to finish 4 under 66. And then when they approached him for the penalty, the 2-stroke penalty, because he messed with, you can't move the grass. You can't touch the grass. You have to play it where it lies, Happy. And the video, I'm sure, has been watched probably 1 million times at this point, because it's those viral moments, right? If you don't see DeChambeau's round live, you certainly, if you're on social media, watch the footage, watch the coverage, see him threaten to leave. And then he comes out with a statement saying he's ready to go for his 3rd round. And I think he's going to take the course at 10:30. He's only 5 off the lead. So it's for a tournament where I'm not the guy that wakes up Thursday and Friday and says, I got to watch morning golf at 2 a.m. Right now, having the Open on's pretty great.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm fired up for this weekend. I've got a couple of guys that I'm watching going into this weekend. So just a nice way to kind of round things out. And then, of course, you've got the World Cup final tomorrow. So we're going into that, I suppose, 1 week dead period now that we talked about. But it's a ravishing finish.
And the thing about this coming week is, so SEC is going to have their media days in Tampa, Florida. And so for college football fans, I think you're interested in that.
Yep.
I think you're always interested to see what the SEC, especially after the week that was had with the ACC, and you'll hear from the commissioner of the Atlantic Coast Conference, Jim Phillips, later on in the program. We'll have Tyler Danberg of the Ohio State Sports Network join us at 11:30 this morning, because there was a lot in Buckeye Land. But with Ohio State, with the Big Ten, with the SEC, it feels like 18 teams in the Big Ten, 16 teams in the SEC. They're good. You don't need to be adding any more. We don't need to be doing any more conference realignment. But comments from Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, and other discussions kind of have you thinking that it's not a matter of if, but when.
Mm-hmm.
When the Big Ten, when the eye of Sauron and the SEC look towards the ACC and maybe the Big 12 in terms of possible expansion. And so that's certainly something for the SEC this week. I know the Big Ten's got next week in Chicago that you're just kind of wondering how that's all going to go. You've also got with the SEC and the Big Ten, the two looming forces in the most meaningful, I think, Dylan, act of college sports legislation we've ever had, because it's the first one that's at least making its way onto the floor of the Senate for the vote and protect college sports. How do the decision makers there, how does Ryan Day feel about this?
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2 weeks, I think you'll get that from him. You'll especially want to get it from the coaches in the SEC. But you mentioned the World Cup, and so the wildfires there had obviously threatened everything in this part of the country, because what were we dealing with yesterday at this time? 400, I think, was the air quality, which is like the highest or the worst ever recorded in Columbus.
It was horrible.
I think right now it's in the 50s, so markedly better now. You'd think that's the same over in East Rutherford, where they're going to be playing at the New York, New Jersey Stadium tomorrow at 3 o'clock. They had the president of FIFA met with White House officials on Friday regarding the smoke and if it was going to impact air quality this coming Sunday about, that World Cup final between Spain and Argentina. This was NBC's White House correspondent Monica Alba saying the White House and FIFA in active discussions about the air quality. Andrew Giuliani, who is, I want to say, part of the Trump administration, says their hopeful contingency plans won't be needed. They'll monitor over the next 24 hours. National Weather Service has been engaged throughout. So you're going to have that. I am very interested, Dylan, with the closing ceremony pre-show. So the game's going to start 3 o'clock Sunday, but this pre-show or closing ceremony is going to be headlined by Post Malone. Some singers.
No, we might not see Robbie Williams. Oh, no.
Do you know who that person is?
Someone who is big in England and only England.
Yeah, I was looking at the show notes and you had Robbie Williams in there and I was like, who is
He was the
that?
star of the Monkey Singer movie last year.
What is even that?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a movie about his life where they decided to make him a monkey for some reason.
Because when I see all of these announcements made by these different bodies in terms of pre-shows or halftime shows, and they have all of these names, I always make sure to throw them in the show sheet because I think there's a chance one of the three of us, sometimes one of the four of us, knows who the hell any of these people are.
Well, we've got a hit. Nate knows Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams. Nicole Scherzinger, I think, was in the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
Correct.
iShowSpeed is a streamer who I think got speared in a WWE event a couple years ago.
So he's part of the closing ceremony?
In some form or fashion. I think he's been at several World Cup matches, and he'll go on Twitch and live stream to his audience.
Yeah.
And I think there a lot of things bad with FIFA. What they've, I think, done this World Cup is try to make their thing as accessible to everybody as possible. Because I've even watched on Peacock the Telemundo broadcast.
I have too.
With soccer, Dylan, you don't need to know too much but goal. Because even in English, you can explain to me what an offsides is, and I can tell you right now on July 18th, I know the exact same about offsides as I did on June 18th. I don't fully understand it.
You just wait for them to do the VAR thing, and you're like, okay,
then,
cool.
I'm like, okay, his elbow is barely scraping past the blue barrier that they've created. Still, I need some more explanation, but the action just happens, so they get right back into it. So I know goal, and I know Messi, and I know their names. So even that's been fun to watch, but I think they've really introduced streamers into this to try to get young kids in to watch while they're watching people watch themselves play video games. The whole streaming thing is something I will never understand, so I'm not going to try here. But the headliner, outside of Post Malone for this FIFA closing ceremony, an appearance by Tom Cruise.
To promote his new film, I suppose.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know I figured he'd still be doing films, but for me, if you're going to put Tom Cruise in anything, and I guess you can't because of the air quality, isn't he? Don't you want to jump out of a plane with like the match ball?
Oh, that would be sweet.
And then he presents the match ball to Spain and Argentina.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
like at this
dun,
point,
dun,
like
dun.
if Tom Cruise isn't doing something to risk his life, do I even want to see him?
Yeah, this new movie
the bar's so high.
This new movie that he's in is not a very Tom Cruise movie either. It's a comedy, kind of dark comedy, political satire deal called Digger.
I mean, he was good in Tropic Thunder.
Oh, I love when he does things like that.
He can put on his comedy hat and make a pretty good film. Speaking of films, there was something that I did want to get into, Dylan, with you about the Odyssey, because USC tried to do something viral and it backfired yesterday, and it could have this fall the opportunity to backfire in the funniest way humanly possible. We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kandula, founder of Advent. We know that when you breathe well, you live better. Just ask our patient Andy.
As long as I can remember, I've had issues breathing through my nose. Since starting this journey and having this procedure done, day-to-day life has just gotten better. I'm able to do all the things that I want to do without having to think about breathing. I breathe through my nose. I sleep through the night. I don't wake up with headaches.
Advent can deliver long-term results in about 20 minutes with simple in-office procedures. We diagnose and treat the root cause of nasal congestion, sinus pressure, sleep apnea, snoring, and allergies. 96% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement, and most major insurance plans are accepted.
Best advice I can give anybody that has sinus sleep issues, just get it checked out. Go in and have someone take a look at it. It's 100% worth it.
Save big money on everything you need when you shop at Menards. Prepare for the summer heat with a new air conditioner from Denali Air. They make a variety of sizes that can cool your space quickly. Plus, they're easy to set up and deliver reliable cooling all summer long. Save big on a new air conditioner from Denali Air. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com to find all our great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Jerry, you're the kind of guy who likes to save money while you do good for the planet, right?
Well, that's why I invented the biodegradable doggy poop bag, Aaron. I'm ecological and economical.
Well, usually the most economical thing you can do when your air conditioner dies is get it repaired. A quick fix can give you years more service.
That sounds economical.
But with older models, those repairs can get pretty expensive, and it'll still use way more energy than a newer model does.
Which is less ecological and less economical.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You see where I'm going with this, Jerry?
I sure do. As hard as it is to toss out your old AC and replace the whole thing, it could actually be cheaper in the long run.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Are you really a big deal in the poop bag industry, Jerry?
The doggos love me, Aaron.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Bring bold flavor to every cookout with Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
For over 30 years, Newman Roofing has earned the trust of homeowners by putting customers first and giving back to the communities we serve. From roofing and siding to gutters, every project gets the white glove treatment. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com.
Every summer morning is different. Luckily, Tim Hortons has a breakfast wrap for every morning. Kick off your summer with the bold new steak and egg wrap. Start your morning fresh with the egg white and Swiss wrap. Or keep it classic with the grilled breakfast wrap. No matter what summer mood you're in, you can always find a wrap at Tim Hortons. Your morning happy place.
Are you missing some freeloading buddies in your life? Well, catch Bishop and Friends on The Fan, featuring Columbus sports veteran Bo Bishop.
I have to acknowledge that I definitely had a mullet in middle school.
A man about town. Bo's a father who gives excellent advice.
If you're going to give me a breakfast pastry out of a box, the toaster strudel is significantly superior to the Pop-Tart.
Bishop and Friends, weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan. And tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan.
Thank you for calling 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We make room for possibilities.
We've loaded the moving van and we're leaving a ton of stuff at our old address. Can you make it disappear?
All you have to do is point.
Can you come right now?
We're on our way.
We make space for hope.
We make space for dreams.
We make space for what matters.
We are 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Let us make room for your possibilities.
We can make your house happier.
And your future brighter.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot is $526 million. But who's counting? Everybody. That's who. Get tickets today for your chance at $526 million before the next Powerball jackpot hits. If scratching is more your style, check out the new $50 Millionaire Blowout Scratch-Off for a shot at $1 million instantly. Or pick up any Ohio Lottery Scratch-Off to put a little play in your day. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center. Happy Saturday. You've got dry conditions on your hands, but we do have chance of rain returning back into our forecast later this afternoon. Timing for that, I'm expecting around noon up until 4 or 5 o'clock today, and that's mainly going to be in our southern counties, but that doesn't count out an isolated shower or two for the rest of our area. Once that rain's out of here, though, you are dry the rest of this evening and dry up until later this week. I'm your 10 Weather Impact meteorologist, Lily Aldrich, with 97.1 The Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Oh, no, you're fortunate out there. You got Eric Rieser, Dylan Tyrer, and Nate with us. Wait, with you, as you're with us until noon on this Saturday. Ohio State and Michigan from 2005 is your Buckeye replay that comes your way around 1 o'clock. Only one bye week for the Buckeyes this season, thankfully. That comes on October 24th. And then Ohio State heads west to battle the men of Troy. USC, that game will be Saturday, October 31st. It's TBA, but it's probably a night. We hope, right? We hope Ohio State USC is a night game.
I don't think it matters. There's no. Listen, I've been to the Coliseum a lot of times in my life. Overrated. Like that, the place is not going to be rocking, I don't think, no matter what, unless there's a large contingent of Ohio State fans that go out there. Yeah. But Halloween football.
Can we do some OSU after dark for that game?
Oh,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
It's unfortunate, I think, that Lincoln Riley at USC, the only thing he'll win is that recruiting title. The only real thing.
You think they're never going to do anything?
I think they might make the playoff as a Big Ten at-large. Certainly when it expands, you better make the expanded college football playoff or you should probably not have a job there. But I don't think they're going to win the Big Ten anytime soon.
I think that would be fun to see USC in the college football playoff.
I think it would be great, especially for the Big Ten. You know, you talk about getting units.
All right, I might be overlooking a lot. But what's like, for USC, what is the last great bowl game or anything they played in? Because I think back there was an Ohio State, or not Ohio State, a Penn State USC Rose Bowl maybe years ago. I think Sam Darnold played in it and Trace McSorley played in it, and it might have been a terrific game, 2018 or so. Has it really been that long since USC played in an awesome game?
So 2017, they played in the Rose Bowl. They beat Penn State 52-49.
Yeah.
They got a field goal as time expired.
That's the game I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Man.
It's been a long time since they have played in a very good football
USC
game.
hasn't played a January 1st-esque game since 2009. USC.
Yeah. I mean, it's a far fall from grace where you look at the coaches that they've had since Pete Carroll, and it's, guys with names that you'd recognize, but just forgettable tenures. And I do wonder if that's what, is going to befall Lincoln. If Lincoln doesn't, bring his quarterback with him, what's the USC's first couple of seasons look like?
That's so true.
I mean, I want for them to be better. I think the Big Ten obviously wants for them to be better. They're not going to be helpful in terms of saving Ohio State fans from the big noon burden that they've got to carry because you're out in Hollywood, and really the expansion out west just doesn't make it's never going to make sense to me. That you don't need. I wanted so bad the the Pac-10 to exist.
Mm-hmm.
I want so bad for that conference to have remained. I know that they were very bad at handling their own expenses, and that conference fell apart because that conference did not have great leadership. But I feel that it was a miss for the Big Ten in enforcing that ad. But I understood you had to counter what the SEC did with Texas and Oklahoma.
What's so fascinating about that for me too is I think in bringing in the USCs and UCLAs of the world, you're like, okay, adding them to this conference could mean resurgence for both of those programs. I think Oregon was a given. They're going to be stout.
West. Yeah.
Washington is what it is. I feel like Washington's the exact same team that it has been, save their national championship appearance. But the school that's come into being a power now is Indiana, right? And I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, but in this era of expansion, when you bring USC and UCLA into the Big Ten, you're thinking, all right, Los Angeles market, a great opportunity for USC to grab a foothold here in a new conference and reestablish itself as a power. Nope, it's not the Trojans, it's the Indiana Hoosiers.
The defending national champion.
Yeah.
Is how that game against Ohio State's going to be billed between Indiana and Ohio. That's on October 17th. So the week before the Buckeyes go on the break, they go to Bloomington. And it's still going to sound weird where you say the defending national champion Indiana Hoosiers and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Like, wait a minute. They did what again? And that's going to be something that will, I think, get more insane to think about the further we get from it, where you're going to have the story of college football in 2025 and in 2026 told, the losingest college football program brought on a guy from James Madison and did well into the transfer portal. And they not only erased the losing that had befallen that program for 50 years, they won the whole thing. And they were unquestionably the best team in the country last season, right? Like, the Indiana Hoosiers were the best.
Yeah. They won the national title.
From tip to tail, they were better than Ohio State. You know, you play that game 10 times, I think it's 6-4 in favor of the Hoosiers.
Less than 10 years ago, Ohio State and Indiana was opening up the season on like a Thursday night.
Yep.
And it could be the game of the year next season.
But for the Buckeyes, so that's a daunting October. And I'm thrilled that Ohio State's getting a tough row to hoe this season. Like, I'm thrilled that they are playing big boy programs in the Big Ten. I think shame on you, Penn State. Shame on you, Indiana, last season. Shame on Penn State for moving forward with this candy-ass programming of we're unrivaled, but we don't have rivals. I want more for everybody in the conference, but they've all got to do their own. They've got to do that work. USC yesterday had a tweet. Our Odyssey begins August 29th. Now, this was Thursday night, I should say it, 10 o'clock. Obviously coincided with Christopher Nolan's film, The Odyssey. That 3-hour extravaganza opened to great fanfare. It's critically acclaimed. Dylan, I think you went and saw it last night.
I did.
And you would agree with all of that?
No spoilers. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I won't spoil anything.
You know the story of the Odyssey.
Yeah, I won't spoil anything.
It, right?
I'll say just like the pure scale of the movie and everything about it is incredible. I would say it more than lives up to the hype.
So USC, the USC Trojans, you know the story of the Odyssey, right? And so their Odyssey begins August 29th. Now, who are they playing? The San Jose State Spartans. Spartans are Greek, right? Like, we've had the Odyssey for 1,000 years? Like, the story?
Thousands.
So you should not just be learning about this now, but San Jose State has the opportunity to do the funniest thing on August 29th, and that's bring with them a Trojan horse into the Coliseum and then upset the USC Trojans.
That would be absolutely incredible. I mean, they have to do it now, right?
I guess.
You got to figure out a way if you're the San Jose athletic department, San Jose State athletic department, to get a Trojan horse down there to Southern California.
Now you dress up like the guys from 300, the actual Spartans, and like kick them into the curb.
So you're talking about like a Winter Classic style walk-in where you dress up for this game. Maybe they travel down in a bus adorned as a Trojan horse.
You lean into it,
right? A stampede of buses.
Because San Jose State, Mountain West Conference, don't know much else about them, but this kind of fell right into their lap. And to USC's credit, they kept the tweet up, despite getting clowned for it. I think it's an understandable thing in the age that we're in. Everybody wants to go viral. Everybody wants to get clicks. Everybody wants to get engagement. And certainly at USC_athletics, you got the engagement you hoped for. It just, was a little off. It's just a slight miss from what the actual Odyssey is, in fact, about. Some news out of the NFL last week should have the Bengals and Bengals fans just a little worried. We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
There's this thing repair people do nowadays.
Mappo's Plumbing. Sure. We do have a dispatch fee. It's $1 zillion.
A dispatch fee, a trip charge, going out to your house bill.
Bippity Bing Bong Electrical. Our trip charge is a nice new car.
But not Apex Pros, the pros who knows. When you call Apex for repairs on your AC, plumbing, or electric, there's no dispatch fee.
Thank you for calling Apex Pros. Why would we? Kinda silly to ask for money before we do anything, isn't it?
We give you an upfront price only after we know what's really going on. We think it's the right thing to do, instead of...
Slappy's AC, electric, plumbing, dry cleaning, haberdashery, and chiropractic. Of course we charge to come out. $1 kajillion, 3 diamond rings, and 2 exotic pets.
Apex Pros. Never a dispatch fee. Examples of competitive rates may have been slightly exaggerated.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Scotty Vegas here, and my new Bronco from Krieger Ford might go down as one of my best purchases of all time. I love it. The family loves it. I decided to get my wife's car some much-needed service. Krieger Ford conveniently picked up her car. I was prepared to spend a ton on repairs. Nope. They walked me through the problems, and it was fixed and brought back to our driveway in a day. Plus, saved me some money for some summertime parlays. The Krieger Ford experience is awesome. See for yourself at KriegerFord.com.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so the 2028 Summer Olympics are going to be in Los Angeles. They're doing the opening ceremonies at the LA Memorial Coliseum. And no, they're not going to make fun of USC, and then they're not going to do a Trojan horse at the home of the Trojans. I still think San Jose State on August 29th has the opportunity to be hilarious in that matter. Dylan, I've often said that college football should end its season close to or on January 1st at the Rose Bowl. I think that area of the country is where you've got to finish it all. I don't love college football playoff expansion. I wish it just stayed it. I wish they could just find a way to get back to 8, to somehow re-engineer. It was never 8, but somehow re-engineer a way to get to 8. You can't go back. I know you're going to go forward. There's that December 1st deadline that the Big Ten and the SEC have to let ESPN know, hey, we want to expand this in 2027. So it's one of those when they let them know we're expanding this.
And you know we're going to have a ton of conversation about it over the course of the next couple of weeks with SEC and Big Ten Media Days coming up.
And it's important, I think, to ask the powers that be those questions, right? I do want to know what Ryan Day thinks of expansion. I do want to know what Tony Petitti thinks. But I want to hold his feet to the fire a little bit. And I would ask, Austin Ward's going to be going out there just to keep pressing him on the matter. Obviously, Tony Petitti, a Hulu executive, wants content, wants to draw eyeballs to Big Ten football in whatever form or fashion it looks like, because the players be damned, the coaches' schedules be damned, the calendar be damned. More football is more money for the conference, and that is his job. With the World Cup, I thought it was a miss not having it at those locations as well, at the Rose Bowl, at the LA, at the Coliseum. I thought putting them in SoFi Stadium was a little sterile. I think the atmospheres, like you saw with some exhibitions, I don't know if you saw it at Auburn with what they had. I think Argentina was playing a friendly, and they had that place 80,000 strong, and they did War Eagle, and they brought all that pageantry. I think makes for such a better North American sporting experience at the college football stadiums, at those cathedrals to college football, than what you get anywhere else in an outdoor environment.
What do you think that is, though? Because you can directly relate that to college football versus the NFL itself. Like NFL environments, save maybe Seattle and Kansas City, are not nearly as good as college football atmospheres. Is it just the tradition and the expectation that maybe comes with it?
I think the passion.
But do you know what I mean? It's literally just a physical environment. It's like, let's put this sporting event in this stadium and it's going to be raucous versus let's put this sporting event in this other stadium and it's not going to be as good. Because you're talking about soccer being played in a college football stadium and it was a raucous, cool environment.
Yeah.
And the environments have been cool for the World Cup, don't get me wrong, because we've had games played in Seattle. Yeah. We've had games played in Kansas City. The Stadium Azteca was obviously unbelievable, but that's aside from college football and what we're talking about. But there is just some weird, like, sterility of these NFL stadiums. Like, we're going to see the championship played at New Jersey, New York Stadium, MetLife Stadium. And that's like, to me, that's one of the more sterile environments in all of sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think, what is it about these places?
They are built to make money and not for the function of a big, like, raucous environment.
But it's the people. It's not the concrete in the brick, in the metal, in the bleachers. It's the people that make the environment. What is it about these NFL stadiums where we don't get that?
I think it's the type of people you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think it's for especially these World Cup matches, you see ticket prices in the tens of thousands of dollars. Like, some fans can afford that, but they're not going to be the fans that are going to be cheering and shouting and there from beginning to end with the kind of energy you'd like. It's
like, you know, you have people in LA, you have people in New York are very different than even the people that would live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and that's all there is to do. Whereas with, like, most college stadiums, the college team is all you got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if you hosted something at Ohio Stadium. You know, maybe you'd get some of that Ohio State passion, but I don't know.
NHL proved it.
So there you go. We know it. You know, I think the Blue Jackets, the Red Wings, the NHL did a great job of leaning into the pageantry that Ohio State football provides, and you have one of the best sporting experiences of my life was a hockey game at Ohio Stadium. Yeah, that's factual. I also wonder with NFL stadiums and them having grass on the fields for the consolation game today at 5:00, the final tomorrow at 3:00. You know, players have been out in abundance saying that what's it take to just keep the grass there? Let's stop playing on these artificial turf surfaces. And you've heard this for years. You know, I think Aaron Rodgers, the biggest what if in New York Jets history might be what if Aaron Rodgers got to play his first full season, but because they're on artificial turf, that I think aided in him tearing his Achilles, 2 plays into his first season in gangrene. And that's coincidentally the location of tomorrow's final, but tomorrow's final is going to be on natural grass. So this was Caleb Williams, Zaire Franklin, Packers linebacker, said the cost of doing nothing is paid for by players' bodies with regards to why can't the NFL, keep the natural grass instead of artificial turf. And what you hear from the owners, what you hear from the league, if they say anything at all, is the cost. And that flies in the face of the news last week for the Seattle Seahawks, who got sold, who were purchased for a record $9 billion. And that's 9.612 billion last week by venture capitalist Vinrod Khosla and his family. That's 50% more than the $6.5 billion the Washington Commanders sold for in 2023. And that's one family paying most of that. They'll probably have several minority investors with this because you get groups that come in on these things. But for the Khosla family, they've got to put down a certain percentage, that 30%, the full price, before you can even transfer the ownership. That's $2.8 billion for them, and they're valued at 13.5. It's a drop in the bucket for them. And so these owners have the money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, miss me on that. But when I see that from
Some
the
of them.
Seahawks, I think, what does that mean for the Cincinnati Bengals with an ownership group that is wealthy because of the Cincinnati Bengals? Like, the Khosla family, they're venture capitalists. They're involved in tech. They've got money independent of this. And so when I see the Seahawks get purchased for that kind of a price, I look to the valuation for the Bengals going up. But I think to myself, like, they're not selling to anybody. And the Brown family damn sure isn't letting minority investors come in. Then where are they getting their money from?
Right. I mean, it's a fascinating thing. And I think as a Bengals fan, that's why I would be frustrated, right? Like, you hear the sell the team chants all the time. There are other ownership groups in the National Football League. Like, I look at the Chicago Bears in particular.
The Gary Bears.
They bought their franchise for $100 way back when. And that the Bears are why the McCaskey, or the Hallis family, McCaskey family now, is wealthy. Like, all of their wealth is from the Chicago Bears. But I don't think you ever hear the Chicago Bears crying poor or saying we can't pay players like we've heard from the Cincinnati Bengals, right? That is one of the most fascinating things for me from the Cincinnati Bengals fan perspective, and what would frustrate me as a fan, that there are these other ownership groups in the NFL that they're in a similar situation as we are when it comes to our wealth being from owning the franchise. But the argument that, we can pay this guy this much, but we can't pay this other guy is never made. But it's made by the Cincinnati Bengals. So when you see a family, an ownership group, whatever, putting down 30% of $9.6 billion, you're like, okay, let's get another group in over here. Let's get a new stadium built. Let's get a facility built. Let's do this.
Just to have $2.8 billion on hand is bonkers, and something that none of us could ever, feasibly conceive. I just looked to, Seattle if I don't know how old Lumen Field is, but if it's 20 years old and you're thinking about, an addition or something. And I know that Cincinnati's in the spot right now where Paycor, Mike Brown had to take his dad's name off the thing because they needed money. And that stadium's going to need infrastructure upgrades. And they're threatening, they'll never move them across the river. But with the Bears and Soldier Field, they're going to move them to Indiana because the team doesn't have the money and the city and the state's not paying for it. You think a group of people in Washington are going to give a billionaire owner money?
Oh, I guarantee you when that stadium is already done, despite having $13 billion, they're going to demand public money to build the stadium.
Of course. And obviously they shouldn't. I don't want them to, but that's the trend.
Mm-hmm.
You need money. Well, we're going to leverage the emotional aspect of this team and what it means for this city. And the NFL, I think, is just going to tell everybody to kick. I think the cities are going to tell those NFL teams to kick rocks because of things like this, where the Seahawks are selling for 9.6
mm-hmm.
and the Commanders are selling for 6.5. Now, some will acquiesce, but I don't see Ohio acquiescing to the Bengals. And I get concerned because if all of these valuation, the teams are going up. Bengals price is going up. They're $5.5 billion last valuation by Sportico. Where's the money coming from for infrastructure upgrades?
I'm not willing to say that they acquiesced to the Browns.
They acquiesced to a billionaire owner. They acquiesced to a guy who puts money into politics. I don't know where the Browns have that kind of juice, right? And so
the Bengals, you mean?
The Bengals, thank you. It's a fascinating conversation from that aspect, in my opinion, because all of these prices are going up. The rights fees for the broadcasts are all going to go up. But where's Cincinnati going to be finding money for any of this?
Oh, I can't wait for that argument down the road. Can't you see it now, Nate? Well, you gave the Browns all this money. What about us?
Exactly.
And
that's going to happen.
You're right to have that argument because, I even went and got my unclaimed funds so Uncle Jimmy couldn't get any of them.
Right.
And I agree. I agree.
I got my $35.
The Bengals should make that argument. It's just what kind of ears is it going to fall on? I think it's going to be at the time they ask for it, a little deaf. Some interesting news from the NFL in terms of a player personnel standpoint. As Dylan, you mentioned, we're not too far out from NFL training camps. A former Browns center is going to be playing in the fall for the Baltimore Ravens. And what about Aaron Donald? That's coming up next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Big celebrations call for even bigger savings. Diamonds Direct is celebrating 30 years of sharing life's biggest moments with you with up to 30% off select styles, with 15% off virtually everything else in the showroom. The Diamonds Direct anniversary sale is only through July 26th, and we don't want you to miss it. Whether you've been waiting for the right moment or you just found your reason, this is it. Come find yours before the sale ends. Visit diamondsdirect.com or find a store near you.
Bring bold flavor to every cookout with Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
There's something that has always made small towns and great communities strong. It's not the buildings themselves, but the people and who show up for them. The businesses that don't disappear when the work is done. The ones that sponsor the local festivals, cheer from the sidelines, lend a hand when needed, and take pride in calling this place home. For more than 30 years, that's exactly who Newman Roofing has been. Yes, they install roofs, siding, and gutters, but what homeowners remember is how they're treated. The straight answers, the respect for your home, job sites left cleaner than they found them, and craftsmanship that's built to last. Because when you live where you work, every customer is also a neighbor. That's why Newman Roofing has spent decades investing in this community, earning trust one family at a time. Newman Roofing, treating you like family and our community like home. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Awkward time to ask this, but hey, did you download the trail map?
Yeah, no, I don't need to.
I don't understand. You're trusting your signal out here?
Well, I'm trusting T-Mobile. They have the best network. And if we end up in bum-tots nowhere, well, we've got T-Satellite for backup.
Whoa, I don't trust my carrier that much.
We'll just use your phone as a flashlight.
With America's best network and T-Satellite, we're keeping you connected in places you never thought possible. And if you switch today, you get free phones for $0 down and only $25 a month per line for 4 lines. Find out more at T-Mobile.com or visit your local store.
Best mobile network based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025 with 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 connection charge per line. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement example $299.99 Moto Edge 5G required. T-Satellite available with compatible device in most outdoor areas in the U.S. where you can see the sky. Included with experience beyond or $10 a month. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver. Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you the chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join a league, or bring the office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great food and drinks here or next door at Agave and Rye. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who's got what it takes. Book your race today at outlawsimracing.com.
Every summer morning is different. Luckily, Tim Hortons has a breakfast wrap for every morning. Kick off your summer with the bold new steak and egg wrap. Start your morning fresh with the egg white and Swiss wrap. Or keep it classic with the grilled breakfast wrap. No matter what summer mood you're in, you can always find a wrap at Tim Hortons, your morning happy place.
Nothing feels better on a hot summer day than coming home to a nice air-conditioned house. If your AC is on the fritz, don't sweat it. Call the pros at the Waterworks Heating and Cooling. We service all makes and models and can provide great savings on a Lennox home comfort system that delivers that perfect feeling. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Services. Call us at 614-232-2222 and schedule fast service today. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot is $526 million. But who's counting? Everybody. That's who. Get tickets today for your chance at $526 million before the next Powerball jackpot hits. If scratching is more your style, check out the new $50 Millionaire Blowout Scratch-Off for a shot at $1 million instantly. Or pick up any Ohio Lottery scratch-off to put a little play in your day. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Common Man and Tinny are inviting select jabronis to the station for pizza. Hey, that could be you. Email goodcleanboy@gmail.com and tell us why you should be chosen.
Presented by Billiards Plus and sponsored by Paisano Peppers.
The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So as we're working through our show prep, Eric Rieser, Dylan Tyrer, Nate Puterball with you until 1 o'clock today. You know, you're trying to figure out what happened this week. And there's the story that Aaron Donald, Rams legend, is thinking about lacing him up for one more season. Of course, it makes all the sense in the world. The Los Angeles Rams are ready to go now. They got Myles Garrett. They bleep them picks again. They sent a talented young budding superstar in Jared Verse to Cleveland, which as a Browns fan, I'm thrilled that was the get to give Myles Garrett.
Yeah, they did really well.
Aaron Donald doesn't need training camp like the next month. No, he does. He doesn't need to do any of that. He's in shape, like you see from his workouts. He's done enough NFL games in his career. He knows how to prepare. You plug him in October, and you're ready to go. Like, that for me, it feels as simple as possible.
Wasn't there that story from Jared Verse himself that came out towards the end of last season that he would go work out with Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald's workouts were too much for him? Like, Jared Verse was begging Aaron Donald's wife to let him leave.
looks like an action figure.
Yeah, he's a scary man.
Retired NFL player with, from my recollection, not a ton of injuries that would preclude him from being able to produce right away for a team that's already ready to produce an NFC championship and a Super Bowl championship for Los Angeles.
Yeah, just put him in on passing downs early on and see how things develop. See if he's still got the win, see if he doesn't get hurt. And
the thing with Myles Garrett is he's already going to draw 2-3 offensive players, so the rest of them can kind of just go unabated. Like, Aaron Donald's going to get one guy. I mean, if they're smart, they'll put 2 on Donald, because I think right now he's still at an all-pro level, just from what I've seen from, workouts and understanding how good he was, how great he was in years throughout his career. And, for the Rams, it made the most sense in the world to hear the news that they're going to bring this legend in and see what he can do. They're going to have personalized workouts, because it's kind of how you treat your legends. Unless you're the Detroit Red Wings, who they didn't fire Steve Yzerman this week, but they sent him to be a special advisor to the Ilitch family. And wild that to me, Dylan, told, I think, fans they picked Dylan Larkin in this fight, as I think they should have.
I'm not sure how this is all going to work out, because it might be too far gone with Dylan Larkin. Like, this is a months-long thing now where he has requested a trade, and he also has to believe in the direction the franchise is going, and now it's too late for them to make any significant changes, I think, without trading Dylan Larkin. Like, the significant change that you could make to reorganize things there lineup-wise is by trading Dylan Larkin. That's not to say they can't put together a package that I'm not seeing right now. Maybe guys are always available, right? Like, GMs have to answer the phone, and if they blow somebody away, sure. But it just feels like it might be too hard to mend on both sides here. But it is very telling that after the draft, after free agency, after kind of the time of year where guys are getting traded, that's when they decide to, I guess, quote unquote, part ways with Steve Yzerman after all this is done. I think it's very telling. It's very telling, and it's interesting to me because Steve Yzerman has always been hesitant to pay guys in Detroit, especially young guys. Like, I think he believes in, maybe rightly so, in proving it. Like, earn this money that I'm going to give you. Negotiations there had been tough in the past. But now you're seeing guys get paid, and with the salary cap going up, you're seeing them get paid quicker. Like, take the Leo Carlson offer sheet, for example.
Gosh.
Leo Carlson is now the highest paid player in the NHL. I don't think for long, but he's the highest paid player in the NHL. We just saw Trevor Zegras get just south of $10 million a season. This is a guy that the Anaheim Ducks a couple of years ago needed to get out of town, and he's found a home in Philly, and he gets paid just under $10 million a season going forward. I think Steve Yzerman wants to pay a guy like Trevor Zegras $10 million a season. I think he kind of sees this and he's like, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to pay these guys. And it's just, I think it's pure belief, which is kind of weird. It's like a get with the times type thing. And I think Red Wings management maybe sees that and they're like, Steve, to compete, we got to start doing some of this stuff.
Pizza money.
And he doesn't feel comfortable doing that. It's I suppose it's an ideology thing from his side, but
NHL Dabo.
It is
good
so
comparison.
It is so strange. Like, if you just look at the way he built their roster, it's all these veteran guys that are okay, and then their draft picks. Doesn't want to pay anybody.
Because I see the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings in similar situations on similar trajectories. You've seen it over the last couple of seasons. Like, the best these teams can do is just bonk their head on the 8. And at what point? I know it's Hockey Town, USA. Fans here aren't thrilled with it. I can't imagine how it is in Detroit for that organization. And you think of the money that's, that was doled out to Carlson. And I of course, you have to think about Adam Fantilli. The numbers are the same. Fantilli's an RFA with Columbus. But I also, because the last month has had me think anytime Dylan Larkin's mentioned, my mind just goes, well, what's Werenski think about that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd thought at first, when Zach and that whole bit of scuttlebutt happens with the organization, I wonder, does he want to link up with Dylan Larkin? But I don't think that's the case necessarily anymore. But now with Larkin forcing the Detroit Red, I can't say force because I don't know for certain, but with it looking like Detroit picked Larkin over Steve Yzerman, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing's off the table for any organization. And I do think, especially for the Red Wings and for the Blue Jackets, that should be the way they go about their business.
Well, in the modern NHL, you have to. It's about the players. Like, guys don't move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, free agency isn't really a thing anymore. How many big names are moving in free agency? Nobody. If you have talent in the NHL, you need to retain that player. You can't afford to just lose guys because replacing them is so hard. The only way to do it is through the draft, and that's a complete crapshoot. And even if you hit on a guy in the draft, it's going to take time for him to become that guy that he's trying to replace. That's why the Ducks, they matched the offer sheet on Leo Carlsson.
That's a good job out of them.
They could not afford to lose Leo Carlsson. Is their future a lot murkier now because they have to pay all this money to Carlsson? Absolutely. They were set up really nicely to compete for a long time, and now it might not be so good for them money-wise, but you can't let these guys leave. You just can't.
And I say to Don Waddell, because I know Adam Fantilli sees all this and he's smiling ear to ear. You should be, I hope, figuring this out with him because you cannot let Adam Fantilli leave.
It's a hard thing, right? Because Fantilli isn't like a bona fide number one center in the NHL yet. It's still projection. And I think that's the uncomfortable part for a guy like Steve Yzerman.
Yeah.
You're paying these guys off of projection. Like Fantilli scored 31 goals a couple of years ago, and he's a good player, and it looks like he's going to be a great player. But he is not an elite player yet. And you're talking about him becoming one of the highest paid players in the NHL. It's a tough gamble to make, but you're saying teams have to make it, it feels like.
It's either do or that or die.
Yeah.
And I love how you brought up Dabo Sweeney, Nate, because he was so late to the transfer portal because a lot of that is projection, and it's cost Clemson. For Indiana, they did things the right way with the transfer portal. How does the future of the Hoosiers project out with Kurt Signetti? Pretty good. We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor and call a groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's time for sun and savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, get a new 2060 Elantra SE for $59 per month for a 2-year lease. Just $59 a month for the drive into summer sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit $39.95 down. Plus tax, title, first month's payment. 7,500 miles per year. Ends 8/3.
This is Mary at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
Hi, I've been dreaming of having an epic college setup.
But your college budget is less than epic.
Way less.
Well, with IKEA, you can get everything you need for college, from bedding to storage and decor, all at a great price.
That's good economics.
Sounds like someone just found their major.
Visit IKEA in-store or at IKEA.us to get ready for college. IKEA, dream the possibilities.
Relax and let Kroger Delivery handle your grocery shopping this week. We start with only the freshest items. Then carefully pack your order in our refrigerated trucks. And our cool trucks keep your food fresh right to your door. Fresh groceries your way with Kroger Delivery. And right now, you can save $20 on your first delivery order. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
There's this thing repair people do nowadays.
Mappo's Plumbing. Sure, we do have a dispatch fee. It's $1 zillion.
A dispatch fee, a trip charge, going out to your house bill.
Bippity Bing Bong Electrical. Our trip charge is a nice new car.
But not Apex Pros, the pros who knows. When you call Apex for repairs on your AC, plumbing, or electric, there's no dispatch fee.
Thank you for calling Apex Pros. Why would we? Kinda silly to ask for money before we do anything, isn't it?
We give you an upfront price only after we know what's really going on. We think it's the right thing to do instead of...
Slappy's AC, electric, plumbing, dry cleaning, haberdashery, and chiropractic. Of course we charge to come out. $1 kajillion, 3 diamond rings, and 2 exotic pets.
Apex Pros. Never a dispatch fee. Examples of competitive rates may have been slightly exaggerated.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
I'm Nate Putterbaugh, their sports update. The Cincinnati Reds were back in action last night, beating the Colorado Rockies 7-2. Spencer Steer hit 2 home runs, including an inside-the-park homer in the 8th. They square off again today at 3:10 with Rhett Lauder taking the mound. Catch coverage over on the Fan 2. The Cleveland Guardians game against the Pittsburgh Pirates was postponed due to air quality. They'll play a doubleheader today, Game 1 starting at 1:10. World Cup action today sees France and England squaring off in the third-place game. That starts at 5. WNBA action last night saw Caitlin Clark set a league record with a first-ever 45-10 double-double performance as the Indiana Fever beat the Seattle Storm 110-107. And across the pond, it's the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale in Southport, England. Lucas Herbert heads into the weekend in the lead at 8 under par after a record-setting 62. Cameron Young, Ryan Gerard, and Jackson Super sit 2 back. The leaders just teed off. Breaking sports news moments to the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
It's a little cooler out, but hope you're staying cool. Thanks for making us a little part of your weekend. Eric Rieser, Dylan Tyrer. You heard Nate there in the update. Reds and Rockies were good because they're out in Colorado. Guardians had their game postponed. If you were looking to go out to Huntington Park last night, Clippers, I think, were monitoring the air quality all day. And then at 7:30-ish, I think, because there was lightning, they canceled last night's game. If you had tickets originally scheduled for the 7:05 first pitch, they're still valid for admission to tonight's doubleheader over at Huntington Park. So make your way out there if you can, because I think it's supposed to be a pretty nice day.
You ever done a doubleheader?
I have tried to. I think you got 2 7-inning doubleheaders today for Huntington, but it is 30% chance of rain starting at 1 o'clock with lightning emojis.
So Ohio.
Be careful. You can't ever have it great.
A doubleheader's great. I love being out there for a couple of 7-inning games. There's just something about it, you know?
In Huntington, what they've done such a great job is making every seat good and it being an intimate environment, where I prefer Huntington Park over Great American and even Progressive in Cleveland, obviously, because I don't have to drive as far for both. But the minor league ballparks, I think, do it very well in that most seats are good. The experience is just fun.
Oh, yeah. Huntington Park is amazing. I'm a big fan of Progressive Field, though. I think it's clean, good food, good drink options. Yeah. It's I think one of the more underrated ballparks in baseball.
They were one of the first, in my experience, to do the standing room only in the proper way, where they had the scale standing room only, so where you could kind of get closer to the field, and then one whole section was devoted to just standing.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the best way. I think stadiums are trying to move towards that model a little bit more, where you got a ticket in and you stand. I always think for Ohio State, a lot of B-deck maybe should just be converted into standing room only, or it's a good portion of the stadium. Just stand for however long you can and make it less of a, we've got to put 100,000 in here. Maybe put it 80,000 with whatever you can try to do. It's a 100-year-old building. So you're really talking about little things to improve Ohio Stadium.
It is fun. I was in that standing room only section out there in right field just a couple of weeks ago at Progressive Field. It's great.
With the news out of Ohio State yesterday, I know you saw a new video board going into the Schottenstein Center. Ross Bjork's got the job of 2 buildings that one is a cathedral to a sport people love, but it's 100 years old. The other is a building that's not very favorable locally in the Schottenstein Center. And so I think for him and for Ohio State athletics, little things you have to do to make it more of an appealing venue is a list that grows every day. And so I give them great credit for trying to do everything that they can, throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. There can be no bad ideas with this. It's now you're finding, he talked 2 weeks ago about being the first athletic department with a $500 million operating budget. And the sticker shock's there, much like an AEP bill in the summer. but you realize that that's the cost of doing business at the level that they want to do the business in. Because NIL keeps going up, the cost of rosters keeps going up. Like I saw yesterday, Monsoon Sales, if you're not familiar with that name, he's a 5-star wide receiver from Indianapolis, 6'5", 200 pounds. He's ESPN's 4th highest ranked wide receiver prospect in the 2027 cycle. How much was it going to cost to land him on campus? $1 million? $2 million? Probably. Like Jeremiah Smith was saying someone was going to give him $10 million. And you think to yourself, that could be a low end of what Jeremiah Smith is worth to a college football program. So Sales, 6'5", 200 pounds, 5-star. Everybody's in on him. Ohio State, Ole Miss, Alabama, LSU, Texas. What if I told you he went on the Pat McAfee show in 2026 and committed to the Indiana Hoosiers? You'd flip your lid, I think. Even still, it's wild to see.
It is a really, really interesting thing, right? You're talking about a guy from Indianapolis committing to Indiana and not Notre Dame. Like, in what world? I mean, I'm talking like old college football, not even NIL era, but a 5-star in the state of Indiana committing to Indiana and not Notre Dame. Of course, you've got Ohio State 3 hours away, and then you've got other schools throwing gobs of money at you. Mm-hmm. It talks to the power of Cignetti, right? It speaks to the power of Cignetti and what they've done there. And not to mention, they've done a good job in their wide receivers room. Like, they've had draft picks, high draft picks. This year, they've got 2 wide receivers, I think, that could be first-round picks.
It blew my mind that in the entire 120-ish history of Indiana, they had never had a 5-star recruit before.
That doesn't blow my mind. That doesn't surprise me at all.
One would sneak in sometime.
It doesn't surprise me at all. You've got Notre Dame in the state and Ohio State 3 hours away. It doesn't surprise me at all. You're talking about one of the worst programs in college football history. Why would a 5-star ever go there? It's Big Ten country. If you're I think you're kind of thinking like, oh, maybe an offensive lineman or whatever,
like something like that. Like someone's like, I'm not going to start somewhere else for like 3 years.
Why would you go to Indiana when you could go to like Iowa? You know what I'm saying? If you're a 5-star.
So Sales is Indiana's #1 overall recruit. He's the highest ranked player since Jalen Smith, who signed with Notre Dame. And Jalen Smith, pretty good. Signed with Notre Dame, because that's what happens. If you're the best in that state, if you're the best in that area, you go to Notre Dame. You don't go to Indiana. Well, up until yesterday. And again, they have done everything as good as you can possibly run a college football program in the NIL era, in the transfer portal era. You have the right coach who can hire the right guys. His OC, his DC, they extended them last season, not so that they wouldn't get poached. Kurt Cignetti, I think, is the perfect CEO for a football organization. Oh, yeah, they also have Mark Cuban cutting bigger checks in consecutive seasons. You don't think he's seen an ROI on that investment? Like, he gets to go around and peacock to other billionaires who are probably boosters at Texas, billionaires who are boosters at Texas A&M, billionaires who are probably boosters at other blue blood programs with an Indiana national champion shirt. Like those schools in Texas, those schools in Oklahoma, out in California, they can't make that claim. Like this was supposed to be Oregon, right? With the billionaire booster that was going to be doing things in the transfer portal and landing 5-star recruits and winning national championships now.
What about USC? We talked about it off the top. How many wealthy alums does USC have? UCLA. It could be any of those schools. And it's Indiana because of one guy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They don't even have a good stadium.
I've never heard anybody go, yeah, I can't wait to go to Bloomington. Sorry, Rothman.
What? Here's something no one ever talks about. What do you do now if you're in West Lafayette?
I was just thinking about that.
It's like at one point you were a respectable program.
100%.
When we were talking into basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just say bleep it as a football program. I think there is a path for some of these other schools, like you talk about Purdue. Because as much as I want to relegate in the Big Ten, I want to send programs away. Like if you're going to talk expansion, if the Big Ten is truly going to go after Florida State or North Carolina or Virginia, I don't want Rutgers. I don't want Maryland. I don't need more. I just would like to switch out some. But you're not, because those schools need that money, especially Rutgers. They need all the money they can get. You're not kicking them out. how do you, as those programs, compete at all?
How does Purdue compete against? It's an interesting thing because Indiana, at its heart, is a basketball school.
Right.
Was a basketball school at least. But if Purdue beefs up and you're Indiana and you've got all this athletic money coming in now because of the success of your football program, and I understand Buckeye basketball fans out there could make this argument, well, the Ohio State basketball program hasn't fared as well, even though the football team is successful. But if you're IU with that spirit and tradition of being the basketball school, if you see Purdue beefing up, wouldn't you maybe think to yourself, let's beef up too. Let's bring this back and just become a power.
I certainly think they have the one booster that could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder that.
But you make a lot more money with the football.
So much more money. And especially in 2030, 2031, we start to renegotiate some of these television deals. I wanted it to be Penn State. I thought it would be maybe Michigan to help Ohio State with the big noon burden. But it's going to be Indiana. Because guess what? On October 17th, you're going to go live to Bloomington for Big Noon. And it'll be Ohio State and Indiana. You can almost write it down in pencil. I wouldn't put it in pen right now, or I wouldn't etch it in stone. But it feels like we're moving towards Big Noon in Bloomington. It's that damn Kurt Signetti. There's also hanging out there, David Gabriel George. He's a 5-star running back from Tennessee. If sales, $2 million, they're saying George, the running back from the Volunteer State, is going to command similar in NIL. He's got a commitment date set for July 22nd. So if I'm looking at my calendar correctly, that's Wednesday. It's down to Ohio State, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. ESPN says Buckeyes and Volunteers continue to battle as the leading contenders. I don't have it in front of me, but I would imagine DGG makes his pick similarly to how Sales does it. He picks a network and hopefully does the hat in the trash can thing. I really think they should all be like, this is like you have the hats on the table and you put one on, you go, I don't know about that one. Like I want him to be, and Nate might be the only person to get this, but like Medusa with the WWF Women's Championship and the hat you don't put on.
Just dump it in the trash.
Dump it in the trash can. Now, they're not going to do that. I think most of these kids now have class, or at least they have parents and advisors around them that give them better advice than what I would give them. But DGG will probably be putting on an orange hat or a scarlet and gray hat, and it'll probably cost you $2 million. That's the price of doing business. And I think for all of these schools, if you're spending, let us know how much you're spending. You know, I wouldn't be I would try to be as transparent about this as possible, because I think that's a recruiting edge. Is we're serious people in this. Like the Purdue's, like the Rutgers, like the Marylands that we've talked about, those schools, I think, to compete are going to have to rely on 5-stars that go to one place right out of high school and that flame out, and they've got to utilize the transfer portal with some of those. You know, it was in large part what you got 5-stars at Ohio State, 5-star wide receivers who are going to be starting for Notre Dame this fall. There just wasn't a chance to get on the field. What Brian Hartline did, bring in some guys who could just never see the field in Columbus, take them down to South Florida. I think that's going to be how those schools are going to have to play things. Because if you are looking in your state, if you're Purdue, and even if you're Notre Dame and Indiana pulling guys from you, this changes a lot. And the money, of course, helps. Talked about the new video board at the Schottenstein Center. I think the Ohio State men's basketball team and Jake Diebler are doing the right thing at the right time. We'll have that discussion next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and got $150 in bonus bets just for signing up.
At least someone scored. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver. Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you the chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join a league, or bring the office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great food and drinks here or next door at Agave and Rye. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who's got what it takes. Book your race today at outlawsimracing.com.
Save big on your landscaping project now at Menards. We make it easy for you to enhance your outdoor living space with the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape block. Ready to take home today. Build a fire pit or retaining wall with our tumbled Belgian wall blocks. On sale now. Save big on your landscaping project at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Every summer morning is different. Luckily, Tim Hortons has a breakfast wrap for every morning. Kick off your summer with the bold new steak and egg wrap. Start your morning fresh with the egg white and Swiss wrap. Or keep it classic with the grilled breakfast wrap. No matter what summer mood you're in, you can always find a wrap at Tim Hortons. Your morning happy place.
Bring bold flavor to every cookout with Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Big celebrations call for even bigger savings. Diamonds Direct is celebrating 30 years of sharing life's biggest moments with you with up to 30% off select styles, with 15% off virtually everything else in the showroom. The Diamonds Direct anniversary sale is only through July 26th, and we don't want you to miss it. Whether you've been waiting for the right moment or you just found your reason, this is it. Come find yours before the sale ends. Visit diamondsdirect.com or find a store near you.
Getting a speeding ticket can ruin your day. But what about that cyclist or the pedestrian crossing the street? If you hit them while speeding, you'll do more than just ruin their days. That's why tickets are more than just a fine. They're a second chance. A reminder of what's on the line when you're behind the wheel. You won't get a do-over every time. So take this as your sign to follow the speed limit every drive. Speeding slows you down. Paid for by NHTSA.
Thank you for calling 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We make room for possibilities.
We've loaded the moving van and we're leaving a ton of stuff at our old address. Can you make it disappear?
All you have to do is point.
Can you come right now?
We're on our way.
We make space for hope.
We make space for dreams.
We make space for what matters.
We are 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Let us make room for your possibilities.
We can make your house happier.
And your future brighter.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Saturday. You've got dry conditions on your hands, but we do have chance of rain returning back into our forecast later this afternoon. Timing for that, I'm expecting around noon up until 4 or 5 o'clock today, and that's mainly going to be in our southern counties, but that doesn't count out an isolated shower or two for the rest of our area. Once that rain's out of here, though, you are dry the rest of this evening and dry up until later this week. I'm your 10 Weather Impact meteorologist, Lily Aldrich, with 97.1 The Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so some good news there from our 10 weather impact forecasters, with most of the storms projected for this area in the southern part of Franklin County. I think it gives anybody who looks to go out to Huntington Park for a doubleheader today. They're giving away Travis Bazana bobbleheads for the first 1,000 fans. I want to say it's the Indianapolis Indians, the opponent on the docket today. Pair of 7-inning doubleheaders should be good to go if we are to believe what Lily just said there in the forecast. So a reprieve from not only the heat, the Canadian wildfires, and then maybe if you watch the labels on your lettuce, you get a reprieve from the explosive diarrhea. This has been a lot, Dylan.
It's been horrific, hasn't it? Just a couple of days.
Survive in advance is like a March motto, but I feel like it's extra true for what we've dealt with in July of 2026.
Climbing up to the very top of C-Deck in 100-degree heat on Wednesday, no bueno.
Did you do that?
Yes, I did. I was at AC/DC. It was...
Oh, that's right.
It was a miserable experience getting up there.
How was the show?
I mean, it was great. It's AC/DC live in concert.
How loud was it?
Pretty loud,
okay,
yes.
I need things to be loud. By the way, if you're seeing the Odyssey tomorrow, enjoy loudness. Enjoy. There is a sound in the film that is the most horrible sound I have ever heard in my life. It's stuck with, like, I can feel it in my diaphragm.
Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. I saw it in Dolby Atmos too. Like every epic movie I need to see with Dolby Atmos because I love the big
Nolan.
sound.
You have to have like the best experience.
And that's the thing for me too. Like Dune 3, I will be seeing that in the greatest environment possible. Dune 2, that worm scene when the worm, they're riding the worm into battle. This is horrible radio, by the way, for anybody, but I saw that in Dolby Atmos. That's a sound that stuck with me forever too. So good. So just get ready for that, Nate. It's amazing.
So Matty Ice was saying, this was on Thursday, that he had his tickets for the Odyssey booked for about a month, and he's going to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, we had our tickets. I think the day that you could buy tickets, we got tickets. So that's probably 3 or 4 months, I would think. Yeah.
And I know
we'd had ours
I sounded like a fuddy-duddy Thursday and saying I can't do a 3-hour movie in the theater.
Quickest 3 hours of my life.
Okay.
Felt like an hour and a half.
The idea of sitting there for that long, like I've got to I got to go potty.
Just 3 hours. Nowadays we're getting like 40 minutes of previews. It's getting ridiculous.
Okay, so I'm a super eater. Like I eat so quickly. I got an XL bucket of popcorn and I finished it before the movie started.
Really?
Yes.
Did you get the Trojan Horse popcorn bucket?
They had it available at the movie theater. I believe it was $80 for the Trojan Horse
just for the bucket?
So we were like, if it was $40, I would have done it because it's so sick. But
there are a handful of those I have bought.
Yeah.
When did popcorn buckets become a thing?
It is massive. It's like the size of your torso up to your head. It is huge. You can sit it on the floor in front of you at the theater and pull the popcorn out of it.
The Thunderbolts limo is my favorite one. I had that one at home.
They've got the IMAX camera for this movie as well. You can either do the IMAX camera or the Trojan Horse. The IMAX camera is a nice reservoir. I will say that. That's a nice popcorn eating apparatus. The Trojan Horse doesn't make quite as much sense, but it is darn cool. Way too expensive for me, though.
$80 for a popcorn bucket. It comes with free refills, though, right?
I would assume so.
I would hope so.
We saw it was listed at $80, and we were like, okay, never mind.
Because that's got to be the past the past 3 years. Because Thunderbolts is 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where like these specialty popcorn buckets have become a thing. I know people were making fun of the Dune one. I think Supergirl had one that was a little too phallic for some people's tastes.
The Dune one is where it really popped off, right? The worm, you stick your hand into the wormhole. Yeah.
So Dune 3's out this summer? Or Christmas? Okay. Yeah, I also realized how much I'm becoming of my parents when I think upon hearing that Christopher Nolan had to trim the Odyssey down from more than 3 hours to 2:52, I want to say, because IMAX cameras couldn't roll past 3 hours. I think my initial was like, I'll just wait and see it at home. And I'm like, I'm my parents.
No, you got to see it in the
They
theater.
were like, just wait till it comes out on VHS or wait till it comes out on DVD.
I love going to the movies. I absolutely love it. And Nate, I assume you're probably the same way here. Like, I love the theater going experience. My family always growing up went to the movies on Christmas Day. That was something that we did. I love the feeling of it. I love a cinematic event like this. It is so fun to go and just have your mind blown at a movie theater. I love the scale of it.
I need to see the epic on a big screen.
Yeah, you need to see it. You need to see it in theaters.
I still remember coming right out of the lockdown stuff going, I need to see Godzilla versus Kong on the biggest screen possible.
I'm legitimately sad. Like, I'm going to go see the Odyssey again. And when the Odyssey is out of theaters, it is legitimately sad that you will only be able to watch it at home. I have an 85-inch TV too, and that is not going to do it justice. I need to put a movie theater in my basement.
On TV is not anything like it was on the theaters.
No, you have to go see these movies in the theater. Like Batman, the Nolan Batmans are really cool on TV.
I did see those in the theater.
Better in the theater.
All right, so you're talking me. There's a
you
theater,
have to see it in the theater
near me that I can't. I'm off Monday. There's a theater that maybe Sunday or Monday I could sneak off to.
You need to see it in the theater. A movie like this, just watching it at home will not do it justice.
So this show, big fans of Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, which I don't think anybody at USC either watched or read before releasing a tweet on Thursday.
Doesn't everybody read it in middle school or high school?
I think it at least was for me, and I know for UA, it was a high school thing where you read Homer's Odyssey, or at least one of the many interpretations of it. And it's been around for 1,000 years. So USC on Thursday released Our Odyssey Begins on August 29th. They play San Jose State, and San Jose State are the Trojan. San Jose State are the Spartans. Spartans are Greek. USC, the men of Troy. So if you've read the Odyssey, you know, wait a minute. USC, the Trojans, would not be celebrating the Odyssey. You wouldn't be. So the Greeks are the ones who won that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if I'm, again, remembering the Odyssey correctly, is the Battle of Troy, that would be early in the movie? Because then he's coming home from the battle.
It's kind of,
if I remember that correctly,
I'm not going to. I don't want to spoil anything for Nate or the listener. No. But the telling of the movie.
Okay.
The war is told throughout the movie.
Okay.
I'll say that. I don't want to. No, I can't do anything more. I can't do anything more.
Nate, you've got to see it tomorrow, and I might have to see it this weekend then. But go see the Odyssey if you're looking for something to do this weekend that keeps you inside and that keeps you cool. What cool thing I thought Jake Diebler's done is really embrace this time of the year as I've got to have my program discussed as much as humanly possible before locally we get into the footballness of Ohio State. You know, the L.J. Smith reclassification, I think, was something that they used to their benefit to say, we're going to open up practices. We're going to have L.J. Smith available. Like they had one on Thursday morning that they had a lot of their younger guys available. And I think to Jake Diebler and the Care Source Invitational that's going to happen with that exhibition between Cincinnati Xavier and Dayton. I think Ohio State's playing the Bearcats in that one. All of this is good attention towards a program that expectations are make it to the Sweet 16. And that's you want expectations, Dylan. Like I'm always of the mindset that high expectations aren't a bad thing. And so for Jake Diebler, make the Sweet 16. Like this can't just be a make the NCAA tournament. For the Blue Jackets, let's not just be hitting our head on the 8. The Ohio State Buckeyes win the damn national championship on the football field. Like these are good, and I think we should embrace them.
I'm with you on that. And it's kind of an interesting thing that Diebler is doing. He's almost doing like great PR for Ohio State basketball, where he's done a good job on the recruiting trail. They made changes to the shot last year that I know maybe didn't have the desired effect in year one, but it created a conversation around it, right? Now they have this classic at the tennis stadium, and I think it's creating some hype and, like you said, creating some expectation around Ohio State basketball. There's a larger feel for Ohio State basketball right now. So if you look at this, not necessarily in the moment, but you take a larger view. You take a step back and see where we are on the Jake Diebler journey. I think we're still relatively early on for him, but he's doing a good job of building this into a larger feeling thing, which is step number one from an Ohio State basketball perspective, because for so many years it did not feel like a big thing.
No.
Now I think you obviously want to see the results, and if you can marry those two things together, Ohio State basketball might be back.
Now, that'll be the big thing, right? You've got to win on the court. You've got to make this a point where Anthony Thompson can take over in February as your alpha, and you are rolling into March Madness with a ton of confidence. In 2 minutes, we'll talk with Tyler Danberg from the Ohio State Sports Network. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Common Man here for my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. Summertime napping season is upon us. What's that mean? Well, that means for me, a little nap on the leather couch. I got the ceiling fan on, but if that AC's not working properly, that nap turns into crap. Am I right? You got to make sure that AC's in tip-top shape, and the only people to call are my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. The message on their homepage says, we care about your comfort, because they do. If you're not comfortable in your own home, they start to get itchy and scratchy. Here's what you need to know about my friends at Care. They've won the Lennox Centurion Award for 17 years in a row. Now, if you're not in the biz, you don't know what that is, but I'm going to tell you, it's given to the top 5% of Lennox dealers in the country each year. Their service techs are the best in the business, and there's not a problem they can't solve, except maybe the meaning of life. They had no answer when I asked them. But think about living without central AC. Mess you up. My friends at Care also have easy online scheduling. CareHeatingandCooling.com. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Summer doesn't start until you've had UDF peach ice cream, made with hand-picked peaches at our dairy right here in Ohio. So have a peach sundae, a peach shake, a peachy cobbler ice cream quake, and start your summer now. Only at United Dairy Farmers.
This is Mary at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
Hi, I've been dreaming of having an epic college setup.
But your college budget is less than epic.
Way less.
Well, with IKEA, you can get everything you need for college, from bedding to storage and decor, all at a great price.
That's good economics.
Sounds like someone just found their major.
Visit IKEA in-store or at IKEA.us to get ready for college. IKEA, dream the possibilities.
One bite in, you'll be saying, that's hot as fire. Speedway's new Hottest Fire Chicken Sandwich turns up the temp. Eat the heat for $4.99 only at Speedway. Valid through 8/25/26. Participating stores. Exclude Speedy Cafe. See app for full terms.
1, 2, 3. Here at the Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Eric Rieser, Dylan Tyrer, with you until 1 o'clock today. Going out now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bring on great friend of the program, Tyler Danberg of the Ohio State Sports Network. And while there's a lot of Buckeye banter we do want to have with you, Tyler, I saw that you had made the trip, correct me if I'm wrong, out to Philadelphia for All-Star festivities. How was everything at Citizens Bank Park?
Great to be with you guys. Eric, it was awesome. Philadelphia was a great host city for the All-Star game. First time they hosted since the Vet hosted the Midsummer's Classic in '96. Home Run Derby was absolutely electrifying. The crowd was in full effect. As cool as it was to hear the roar of the crowd for Kyle Schwarber, it was even better to hear the Philly home crowd boo every single pop-up that any other opponent of Schwarber hit. And then when Jordan Walker went on that run with 4 swings, 4 home runs with the fuchsia ball that spelled hitters all night long, it was incredible. And I go back to 2019. You know, Eric, you being a Cleveland guy, when Cleveland had the All-Star game in 2019, you know, how cool it was for Pete Alonso as a rookie to go on that run. He made more money that night than he did all year. For Jordan Walker, a guy that has so much promise and didn't really have much results to show for it up until this year, for him to do the exact same thing and for him to have the season that he's having, it was really cool. So all in all, really special 2 days. And I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Sandlot tribute at the top of the 5th inning. And then after the 5th inning, stand up the cancer. I mean, there is not a hair on your back that's not standing up in that 5th inning with both events. So it was a really cool night.
Tyler, I made the case earlier in the week that it feels that baseball's doing it the best with the All-Star because you know what the game is. They're not trying to make it a gimmick. And the home run derby, it is a home run. It's a glorified home run derby. It's not something that relies on a clock. It's just guys hitting dingers, and that's what we want to see. I said, look, just give it to Philadelphia for the next 5 years and let them do it with the exact same crowd, the exact same intensity, the exact same atmosphere, because I don't think it much like it anywhere else in the country.
You're right, and it felt like a playoff game, especially that home run derby. Like walking back onto the subway to ride the subway after the derby, coming out of Citizens Bank Park, the mood, tone, and atmosphere walking back out of the ballpark, it felt like the Phillies just lost Game 7 of the NLCS because their guy, Kyle Schwarber, lost in such dramatic fashion. 46,000 fans there for the Derby, 43,000 for the Midsummer Classic. It really is, for as much talk as there is about the upcoming December and all the CBA talks, the game has so much momentum going for it right now, which is really gratifying to see at this moment.
Tyler, we all know you're the nicest guy in the world. Did you boo?
No, I didn't.
Did you boo the kids, Tyler?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I did, but there wasn't much to boo. Like if they maybe had the 30-second or the 2-minute timer for the home run derby, maybe I'd boo because I think this format was a lot better. But yeah, that was a wasted opportunity, Dylan. That's on me.
Ohio State first baseman Dane Harvey tied the program's single-season record with 19 home runs this past season. How would he have fared at Citizens Bank Park in that home run derby, do you think?
Well, give him a metal bat, and I think he would dominate. I think that, for the bank, Dylan, that right field porch, I guess you can call it a little bit of a porch with that wall. It's a little bit shorter than left field. I think it would have favored him from the pull side very heavily. I think you give the great Dane a couple swings at the bank, and it would be bedlam for sure.
Tyler Danberg, our guest of the Ohio State Sports Network. Here in a little, be here before we know it. He'll be roaming the sidelines at Ohio Stadium for the Buckeyes and the Ball State Cardinals. It'll be a noon 30 kick on the Big Ten Network. But Tyler Danberg for the Ohio State Sports Network. At this time of the year, Tyler, is there anything in particular that you've got your eyes and ears on from an Ohio State football standpoint more than anything else?
Oh, man. I mean, there's so much. I think right now it's just starting to get a feel for who's going to show up in camp early. Like, I'm counting down the days until August 6th. I'm really excited to just get a glimpse of the sights and sounds of that camp. I mean, there's so much buzz right now, but I think, we talked about the offensive line. I think the defensive back group and the secondary is going to be so interesting to take a look at this year. I'm excited because I think August is the time where we really get a feel for who the leaders are, and we'll get the block O and who's donning it later on in August as we get closer to kickoff on September 5th, which is now 49 days away. But I think that this is always kind of the weeks and the leading up to this. It always feels like leadership month, and who I think voice is going to be a big thing this year. Who's going to step up just with so much lost and so much new with the 51 newcomers? Not only are we going to learn a lot about who from the returners are going to step up in leadership capacities, but also who from the newcomers, because there's going to be guys coming in that are going to be expected to play so many big roles on the field. How can they acclimate to the locker room and make a big impact off it as well?
Tyler, you talk about those newcomers for the Ohio State Buckeyes this summer. That's what I'm most excited about. Like, I'm really eager to see who steps up and who are the guys out of these newcomers. If you had to pick one guy or maybe a couple of guys, who are players you don't know a whole lot about right now that you're really eager to get to know and learn about when camp starts?
Well, Dylan, I'm really excited about Terry Moore, safety from Duke. I'm really intrigued by him because he's going to come in definitely with a chip on his shoulder, missing all of last year. And you go back to the 2024 season when he was one of the better defensive backs in the ACC. He's got familiarity with the program because he was recruited by Matt Guerreri, who's now the safeties coach. So they have a really good relationship. And I'm excited to see him because, again, he's got so much proven yet unproven just because he missed all of last year. He's going to be coming in like a bullet just because he's going to get out on the field again. But you look at the tape, I mean, some of the plays that he made, there was a game when Duke played Northwestern in 2024, and he made some highlight reel plays. And then Earl Little Jr., you hear nothing but great things about Earl Little off the field. And just getting to hear from him in the spring, this is such a smart, intelligent, composed guy, obviously son of a former NFL defensive back, and so he's got that football IQ, and he's got that savviness, not just on the field but off. But and then I think with the freshmen, I think there's going to be so much that we'll learn. Obviously, Chris Henry Jr., but the guys like Jay Timmons and Jordan Thomas coming up in the secondary. And then I'm really, really excited about Devin Sanchez. In the offseason, he talked about some of his goals for this year and beyond, being a Thorpe finalist, winning the Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year. He's really got all the tools and learned a lot last year being thrust into some big-time snaps and spots. And I think we saw a glimpse of what Devin Sanchez could do with a larger sample size in the Cotton Bowl. Devin said that he wishes he played like that all year long. And he definitely got better as the year went on. He cited maybe being a little too timid early on in the year, but he just got so much more comfortable as the year rolled along. I think the sky's the limit for the former North Shore product and Houston area native. I'm really excited to see what he does this year paired with Jermaine Matthews Jr.
We are just 20 days out, Tyler, from Ohio State opening camp on Thursday, August 6th. So it will be here, of course, before we know it. Bud, thanks so much for giving us the time on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll touch base next week, all right?
Thank you so much, guys. And again, I really wish I booed, but maybe next time. When
maybe next year.
Next time.
We'll work on his booing because you're right. Tyler Danberg, our guest, courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, the nicest person you'll ever meet. So maybe the further he gets along in his media career, I don't know if he's still with us, but this profession will beat you down to make you a cynical person. So we get you closer to that by just working in this profession long enough. Mm-hmm. You'll be booing in no time. So is how I think about things.
I wish he would have booed.
Would you have?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you got to be part of the crowd. We started the show talking about these great sports environments. You got to be part of it, man. It's fun.
Rieser and I are wrestling fans in Philadelphia environment. Absolutely, we would have booed.
You guys would have been throwing snowballs at Santa.
We would have been booing the kids.
I don't. That's what I thought you asked. Did you boo the kids? I was like, well, it's Philly.
That was me.
We got 20 days till training camp. Less than that from we'll actually hear from Buckeyes who make the trip to Chicago for Big Ten Media Days. One of those Buckeyes spoke earlier this week on his quarterback who took some odd flack this week. You'll hear about Julian Sain from Jalen McClain coming up next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
I'm Dr. Kandula, founder of Advent. For people with nasal congestion, sinus pressure, sleep apnea, snoring, or allergies, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination to treat your problems for good? Welcome to Advent, your one stop for breathing and sleep relief for over 20 years. Unlike other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care. 96% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for these effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
Whoa, what's all this? These screens, the food?
All for the game, bro.
Dude, let us pitch in.
No need. I've got it all covered. With T-Mobile, I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wireless and internet.
No way. Really?
Yep, and the price of my plan won't change for 5 years.
Wow, I'm definitely switching to T-Mobile.
Goal!
Here to score big with T-Mobile. Families save up to $1,000 a year when they bundle fast, easy to set up, all-in 5G home internet with 4 phone lines on Experience Beyond. And your plan price? Guaranteed for 5 years. Stay connected con tu gente and catch every match with T-Mobile. Join now at T-Mobile.com.
Price guarantee on talk, tax, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Savings based on third line free via monthly bill credits. Internet discount with $15 in monthly bill credits and auto-pay discount. Qualifying credit required. Credits may take up to 2 bill cycles and will stop if you cancel any lines or change plans.
There's this thing repair people do nowadays.
Mapo's Plumbing.
Sure. We do have a dispatch fee. It's $1 zillion.
A dispatch fee, a trip charge, going out to your house bill.
Bippity bing bong electrical. Our trip charge is a nice new car.
But not Apex Pros, the pros who knows. When you call Apex for repairs on your AC, plumbing, or electric, there's no dispatch fee.
Thank you for calling Apex Pros. Why would we? Kinda silly to ask for money before we do anything, isn't it?
We give you an upfront price only after we know what's really going on. We think it's the right thing to do, instead of...
Slappy's AC, electric, plumbing, dry cleaning, haberdashery, and chiropractic. Of course we charge to come out. $1 kajillion, 3 diamond rings, and 2 exotic pets.
Apex Pros. Never a dispatch fee. Examples of competitive rates may have been slightly exaggerated.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Every summer morning is different. Luckily, Tim Hortons has a breakfast wrap for every morning. Kick off your summer with the bold new steak and egg wrap. Start your morning fresh with the egg white and Swiss wrap. Or keep it classic with the grilled breakfast wrap. No matter what summer mood you're in, you can always find a wrap at Tim Hortons. Your morning happy place.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Did you know you can save up to $35 on your next fill-up? Redeem your points for big savings at the pump. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot is $526 million. But who's counting? Everybody. That's who. Get tickets today for your chance at $526 million before the next Powerball jackpot hits. If scratching is more your style, check out the new $50 Millionaire Blowout Scratch-Off for a shot at $1 million instantly. Or pick up any Ohio Lottery Scratch-Off to put a little play in your day. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
You're probably good to go today. I think the air quality is significantly better than it was yesterday. I think the rain showers from last night helped move a lot of that wildfire fog out of our area. It also looks like Sunday's World Cup final between Argentina and Spain is going to go off at 3 o'clock. FIFA officials met with White House officials yesterday in New York City to discuss that. I know contingency plans might have had them going to Long Island. Some were saying maybe, or not Long Island, Atlanta for the Mercedes-Benz Stadium because they've got everything kind of set up for them. So all of that looks good. Hopefully everybody out there is staying cool, keeping... yesterday you couldn't go out, today you can go out, and also with the explosive diarrhea, like we've been in it. So hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Thank you for making us a little part of your weekend. Like I told Tyler, and again, thanks to Tyler Danberg for giving us some of his time, 20 days between now and Ohio State's fall camp, which they've done, Dylan, I think, a tremendous job of making it look and feel just like an NFL training camp. I don't know if you've ever had the chance to go to either the Browns or the Bengals when they do their camps open to the public. But it's a great feel for everybody. And I think even especially to the players, when you come to Ohio State, the one thing you want to do is make the jump from the college ranks to the pro leagues. Like this is developed here on every single piece of Ohio State, whether it be merchandise or the banners at the shoe or anything social media, is they want to make sure that, and I think that if you're a college team, that's one of, if not the biggest selling point. Say, come here, we'll develop you for the next level. I know that's what North Carolina tried to do, but they just had the wrong people to do it. Ohio State's got all of the right people to do it, and they've got the track record to show for it. We were even talking about earlier in the hour about the NIL aspect of it, and where Ohio State's spending, $30, $40, $60 million on a roster. I don't see why you shy away from that. Mm-hmm. I think when Desmond Howard was making it a big deal about Ohio State's $20 million roster 2 seasons ago, if I'm Ryan Day and company, I'd be like, yeah, and your poverty program can't keep up. Now they've got the Oracle guy who's cutting checks that they maybe can keep up with that. But if you're a program that wants to compete at this level, this is the price of business, and the price of business goes up. Why shy from it?
I think it's a very fascinating thing that you bring up that sort of transparency, because I see that working, right? Like I see being transparent about how much you're putting into your program and how much you're paying guys working on that level where people see who is for real and who's not for real. People see the development too. They say, oh, they paid this guy this much money, and it actually worked out for that player. And I'm talking about recruits. But I also see an issue there in that these are kids. These are not mature professionals. There's obviously transparency in professional sports when it comes to the salaries for the players, not always the coaches, which is another thing. But when kids know that, wait, this guy is making $2 million, but my stats are better than his, and I'm making nothing. I'm just on scholarship or whatever. Can't you see that creating some serious issues? And I'm sure behind the scenes, some of these guys are familiar with the money that other players are making. And I'm not sure what that dynamic is like because I'm not in these programs or in these rooms. But on the very surface level, don't you see that being an issue because you are dealing with kids?
I do. And I think it probably has, right? In some instances. I just wonder if at Ohio State, the conversation is if a player goes to a coach and says, I'm worth this and I'm not making this, or this guy's getting this and I'm not making this, they're just show them the production on the field.
It. Yeah.
You got to prove it. You have the control. It's all in your hands. And it's a very NFL way of doing things.
And I think that we're so early in this experiment, too, that the guys that Ohio State have paid have seemingly worked out, right? Like, we're not talking about Tate Martell getting $5 million to come to Ohio State and never playing.
And I think some programs that have felt that have suffered, and they just haven't been able to keep the production on the field up to the amount that they're paying some of these players. And so it's a great credit to Ohio State, even to Indiana. If you don't want to, I know you hesitate because it's Indiana, but they've been able to do it too.
Well, even so, if you pay a guy to come to your school and it doesn't work out, he transfers and you give his money to somebody else that you know is successful from a smaller program.
I mean, the Brendan Sorsby return on investment. Texas Tech isn't recouping any of that money,
right?
And he's not going to play a single snap for him. So it is incumbent on the coaching. It is incumbent on the guys like Mark Pantoni, who are general managers now at every football team in college in the college ranks. They've all got general managers because they understand the importance of that job and saying, all right, I've got how is he going to do on the field? How has he looked on the field? But how has he been as a teammate? How can he be in this locker room? And it's very much a way that I think Ohio State and other schools have done the job of preparing guys that aren't developed mentally there yet to understand, all right, this is how exactly it's going to be in an NFL locker room. Where if a guy is making a bunch more money than you in the NFL locker room, but he's not producing at all, you've still got to do everything that you can so that the team doesn't go off the rails. Mm-hmm. And you've seen in instances in the National Football League where guys' egos have driven teams from what we should have been to now what we are is picking high in the draft. And this isn't fair and got anything to do with it anymore, right? Because you see the probably what is, I think, a good method for Ohio State. What I think they've done well is that cap, that $20 million cap. But I've often maintained that you can't really, in my opinion, treat football like you treat basketball, like you treat women's basketball, like you treat women's volleyball. And I understand that the $20 million cap's there to, at least for Ohio State football, they get the lion's share of that. But if you see where this is going and you want to be proactive with it, you've got to separate football from all of it. Because you've got to separate Division I, group of Power 4, I should say, group of 6. Those need to be separated because we can't keep trying to treat these things the same. They're just not. And I'm going to be very interested to hear comments from Ryan Day in a couple weeks when they go to Big Ten Media Days Coach Day and company, he'll be joined by Julian Sain, Jeremiah Smith, and Jalen McClain, the safety for the Buckeyes. And they brought on, we talked with Tyler Danberg, 51 new faces. And for Ohio State, you got to replace a guy like Caleb Downs. You won't be able to do with just one player. It's going to take more than just a single guy to replicate what he was able to do. He's a generational type player. Jalen McClain was on with Austin Ward on The Beat earlier this week and talked about what he's seen from his quarterback, Julian Sain, this season.
On the field, obviously, he's able to, hide the contender, able to put the ball in the right spots for Jeremiah. So off the field, he's been able to be a lot more vocal for us, not just being a leader, when we had the pads on, but when we're in these workouts, he's able to be a lot more vocal, earn a lot more respect for the people on the team, especially the new guys. They respect him a lot. Obviously, they didn't really know him before they came here, but for them to really look up to him, as a new guy, it just means a lot.
And that was, a weird thing that happened this week where you heard a ESPN college football personality talk about what he had heard about Julian Sain. And I'd hoped for Josh Pate that he wouldn't get into the ESPN character gimmick arc, but it does feel like he's moving in that direction and talking about Ohio State's quarterback and saying that there were some out there based off of the last 2 games of the season that didn't think Julian had the heart to lead a major college football team. It's like, well, I understand that you saw those last 2 games, but that shouldn't, in my opinion, take away from the other 12. Now, the 12 were vastly different than the 2 at the end, but the 2 at the end were the final 2 teams playing. And the first team you met in that 2-game stretch won the entire thing. So for Julian, all of it was in his first year. So it's good to hear from a guy like Jalen McClain, who's an unquestioned leader of this team, that Julian's making a more vocal approach to his leadership.
I'm just kind of curious when it comes to those statements by Josh Pate, like where that's coming from. Because obviously in camp last year, that was a talking point around Julian Sain, right? Like, how is this guy going to grab the offense and grab the program by the you-know-what? Because Will Howard did that right away. Will Howard was a vocal, energetic, in-your-face type of leader, right? And Julian Sain's not necessarily that guy. And that was a conversation. How is a freshman going to come in here and command an offense that has all of these guys? Jeremiah Smith, all of the veteran offensive linemen. And we heard that narrative continue as the season went on, but in a positive way. Oh, he's grabbing it more. He has more respect. He has more confidence. Doesn't that confidence just come with time? And now you hear a quote like that from McClain, you're like, okay, this guy is continuing to get it. And I think this is that year for Sain. It's obviously a huge season for him, but if he takes that step into the next stratosphere, like he's going to be a very high pick in the NFL draft and be a guy. It's just kind of shocking to hear that from Pate, because where does a quote like that come from? Where does an idea like that come from when everything we are being told in this city about Julian Sain is the exact opposite?
Yeah, he says, what I was doing was echoing sentiment that 1,000% have gotten from several people in college football, players and coaches, because they do question his heart.
I just don't think a quarterback at Ohio State would ever be starting in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be that good.
He's a Heisman finalist.
And not care about it.
I don't want for Josh Pate, with the increased exposure he's gotten, to fall into the same traps and tropes that other ESPNers have gotten, and that kind of feels like the direction we're headed. Because
100% those quotes all came from SEC people, considering who Josh Pate basically covers.
It's unfortunate, but it is where we're talking about it, and so he's getting the clicks and engagement that he so desires with this, and it's all silly because everything with Julian last year was firsts. And he handled everything, I thought, exceptionally. The playoff, the Big Ten championship you'd want to have back, the playoff you want to have back, but all of that was a first for him. And so when he takes another step, you think he's going to take that step, and it's going to lead to championships, Big Ten championships, potentially a national championship. For the Columbus Blue Jackets, every player on this roster is going to be experiencing a major first coming up next season. We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan.
Save big on your outdoor projects when you shop at Menard. performance. Build a stronger deck with pressure-treated thick decking. It's 15% thicker than standard decking and available in green-treated or premium cedar tone with a beautiful brown color pressurized into the wood. You can design the deck of your dreams with our free, easy-to-use Deck Designer in-store and on Menards.com. Plus, check out the weekly flyer and view all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
It's time for sun and savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, get a new 26 Elantra SE for $59 per month for a 2-year lease. Just $59 a month for the drive into summer sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit $39.95 down. Plus tax, title, first month's payment. 7,500 miles per year. Ends 8/3.
When you're craving scratch-made food, 29-degree draft beer, and the best seat in the house for every game, there's only one place to go. Twin Peaks. From juicy burgers and smoked in-house wings to those ice-cold brews served by the friendliest team around, Twin Peaks is your ultimate sports lodge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you never miss a moment. So grab your crew and head to Twin Peaks, where the views are great, the food hits hard, and the beer is always colder than your ex's heart.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
This is Mary at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
Hi, I've been dreaming of having an epic college setup.
But your college budget is less than epic.
Way less.
Well, with IKEA, you can get everything you need for college, from bedding to storage and decor, all at a great price.
That's good economics.
Sounds like someone just found their major.
Visit IKEA in-store or at ikea.us to get ready for college. IKEA, dream the possibilities.
At CEC Turf and Tractor, family means everything. That's why we're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations to the CEC family. We're honored to carry on the relationships Green & Sons has built in these communities for generations while expanding our ability to serve you with more parts, more inventory, and faster response times. As one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers, CEC Turf and Tractor is growing without losing sight of what matters most: hardworking people, trusted relationships, and hometown service. Visit CECTurfandTractor.com today for all your Kubota needs.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Puderball with your sports update. The Cincinnati Reds were back in action last night, beating the Colorado Rockies 7-2. Spencer Steer hit 2 home runs, including an inside-the-park homer in the 8th. They score off again at 3:10. Catch all the action over on the Fan 2. The Guardians game against the Pittsburgh Pirates was postponed yesterday due to air quality. They'll play a doubleheader today. Game 1 starts at 1:10. World Cup action today sees France and England squaring off in the third-place game. That starts at 5. Across the pond, it's the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale in Southport, England. There's a new leader as Ryan Fox shot up the leaderboard this morning, joining the round of 62 club to finish at 8 under. Sam Burns, Cameron Young, Jackson Suber, Lucas Herbert, and Siwoo Kim all sit 1 shot back, with over a dozen golfers within 4 shots. And in WNBA action last night, Caitlin Clark was the first woman to have a double-double of 45-10. Breaking sports news, what happens at the Fan?
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so I want to say going into the British Open, there had been only 4 62s carded at a major. And then you had 2 on Friday.
Yeah, the last 2 were the opening round of the 2023 U.S. Open.
Was it a Schauffele involved in one of those?
It was Schauffele and Ricky Fowler at LACC, and people hated it.
And so now they have 3 in
2 days.
In just this weekend. You heard Nate there in the update. Ryan Fox, your leader right now, 8 under in the clubhouse. Siwoo Kim, Sam Burns, Cam Young, Jackson Suber, Lucas Herbert. I know it's Herbert. They're Gaggle at 7 under. Still looking at Bryson. Carded at 68 today. He's 5 under. He is going to be playing into the weekend. despite the kerfuffle yesterday.
You got to love that. You know, there were 2 62s yesterday, and all anyone was talking about was Bryson and his
such
whining.
a lightning rod. And I've gone back and forth on DeChambeau.
He's so good for the game of golf.
I agree.
He's so good for golf. Imagine if we didn't have this villain in golf right now. What would the sport be? Just everybody glazing Scotty Scheffler and maybe talking bleep about Wyndham Clark every now and again.
Also, the amusement of every golf analyst and writer whining about people booing him. It makes me so happy to hear it.
The booing thing is a whole different story. That's like, it's almost become like an Americans versus Europeans thing, the booing thing. And don't even get me started on that because I like hatred and booing and
it's
all
part
that
of
stuff
sport.
in sports. Yeah.
It's just a part of it. There are players, there are teams. We were talking, earlier this week about the Olympics. We're on LeBron Watch, how Cavs fans feel and would feel if LeBron went to Golden State. And as a Cavaliers fan, I'm okay with it because I don't think about Golden State much anymore. I disliked them when they had Kevin Durant and when it was the Cavs and the Warriors trading shots in the NBA Finals. But when you had Steph Curry as a member of Team America in the Olympics, I'm like, damn, this guy's fun.
Yeah.
Like the Kachuk brothers during, the hockey, was it the World Cup?
Well, the Four Nations face-off and then the Olympics, yeah.
Watching the Kachuk, I'm like, damn, that's fun. But they're hateable. Like Steph Curry throwing his mouthpiece, hateable. Kachuk brothers, hateable, especially now they're both in the Florida Panthers. But then, rooting for them, it's kind of fun.
It's amazing. I had never felt anything like that before until Team USA basketball at the Olympics, I think, with Steph Curry. Because I had never rooted for Steph Curry, right? Not that I particularly cared about or disliked the Warriors, but it was always like...
I disliked them.
You root against the super teams, right? You're always rooting for the underdog, I feel like, when you don't have a stake in things, except in golf, because everybody was rooting for Scotty Scheffler and a Wyndham collapse a couple weeks ago at the U.S. Open. But beside that, it was so cool to be able to root for Steph Curry and be like, yep, that's our guy. Because he just went unconscious, and you're like, well, okay, I get it now. I get it now.
But for Bryson, it's fun to root for him to be in contention, but it also will be fun if tomorrow, and he's just 3 off the lead, if he's able to climb a little closer. I don't want to wish a collapse on anybody, but a meltdown would be fun.
It's a weird thing, too, how his public persona has now changed 3 times because he was extremely hateable. He got super beefy, and he said that Augusta should be a par 67 or whatever, and everybody was like, screw this guy. He's a tool. Then he went on, he started to get on YouTube and showcase, again, quote unquote, a personality. Like he had a PR person doing something for him at that point. And I attended the U.S. Open that he won at Pinehurst when it was he and Rory coming down the stretch. And everybody wanted Bryson to win, and everybody was cheering for Rory to fail. I mean, if you would go 365 days later from that U.S. Open, I think if you were to play that all over again, everybody would be rooting for Bryson to fail, and everybody would be cheering for Rory to win. It's crazy because nothing has really happened with Bryson DeChambeau. I guess the move to live, but I think when he won that U.S. Open, he was on live at that point. You know what I mean? Like his persona in the way that people were perceiving him had changed while he was on live. Like he had turned heel, and people still liked him.
And the thing with the live turn was they had him. I want to say it was on a cable news network was interviewing him. And of course, the money from Live came from the Saudis. And so connections can be made from Saudi money to acts of terrorism around the world. And there's one event that I speak of in particular. You all know what I'm talking about. And he, in a way, told victims and their families to just move on with it. And that's not great, Bryson.
No.
But then you're right about his YouTube persona, I think, got public perception back in his favor. And then he yesterday he tramples the grounds at Royal Birkdale to just improve his shot. And because it's Bryson, he can't do anything subtly. And so he gets that 2-stroke penalty. He throws the temper tantrum that you've all seen the videos of 100 times. And it's all very entertaining from the golf layperson standpoint. And I think it's polarizing from the golf purist. Now, if you want to boo the Kachuk brothers, like I just said, Tuesday, October 13th will be your first chance for the Blue Jackets, as the Panthers will be in town. 6:15 for the face-off there. We'll, of course, have fan pregame coverage because we're home for the Columbus Blue Jackets. You're going to know, Dylan, about this team, I think, before you get to Thanksgiving. They were assigned 84 games in the regular season earlier this week, or at least that's when the schedule was revealed. The team did a wonderful job with Rick Nash and the schedule reveal. Very much.
You liked the Toy Story style?
I thought it was fun. It was a very NFL approach to make social content for how we're going to introduce a schedule. 84 games. Talk about Julian Saint, and everything was a first for him. This is the first time the NHL's done an 84-game schedule since 93-94. I'm very interested to see how, if any difference, this is handled by everybody. Because 2 games isn't nothing.
Yeah, I personally don't think it'll make that big of a difference because last year they're taking off preseason games. You'd play upwards of 8 preseason games, which it was just too many. It was a lot.
4.
Now you're going to play 4 preseason games. Last season was so condensed, and the year before that was so condensed. They played so many games in so few days. This schedule is going to be a little bit more spread out with the season starting a few days earlier. I don't anticipate it making a ton of difference, and I think you heard some complaints over the course of the last 2 years about star players getting hurt because they were playing so much and not having enough time to rest. I honestly think, if anything, you'll get a little bit more rest this season with things being stretched out just a bit. I think the whole argument is maybe a little bit overrated on both sides. Like, you play the schedule that you're given, but I don't anticipate 2 more games being backbreaking or anything like that. If anything, you might get a little bit more meaningful hockey down the stretch because a few teams are in it longer than they would have been.
Well, that's, for the last couple of years, been the expectation for the Blue Jackets was stay in contention for the 8 late. And, I think it always feels like you play the Islanders like 3 times over the last couple of months of the season, every single season. You'll have the opportunity to do that. You just can't be out of it early. And Dylan, when I look at this schedule for the Blue Jackets, October 1st, the home opener against the Sabres, then the Mammoth and the Pittsburgh Penguins, your first 3 games. Then you've got the Rangers and the Panthers on that October 13th game like I just spoke of. And then the Golden Knights, Flyers, Hurricanes, and Stars to round out the month of October. This feels like we're going to have an idea of where the season's going to go, even before November.
Well, look at the first week of November. You play the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, the Buffalo Sabres, the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Philadelphia Flyers. All 6 playoff teams to start off.
You're going to earn...
The Panthers didn't make the playoffs last year, but, everybody thinks they're going to win the Stanley Cup this season, so... You understand the sentiment. This team has won 2 Stanley Cups in the last 3 seasons. I'm with you. Like, it's a tough start for the Blue Jackets. It will be a test, and you'll see what this team is made of right off the bat. And, they've talked about it the last couple of seasons, the importance of starting fast and setting the tone. Like, you cannot wade yourself into an NHL season the way that you can wade into an MLB season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it is... Everybody talks about it being a marathon because it's 84 games. It is a marathon where you're sprinting the entire time. That's what it is in the NHL because every game, every point matters. And the Blue Jackets know that better than anybody because they just missed the playoffs 2 years ago and they just missed the playoffs this past season. How many fans out there think back to, there's that one game that we lost in overtime in November, or there's that one game that we lost in a shootout at the start of December. If we had just gotten that 1 point.
I do that about the Guardians every year. There's like a June-July Orioles loss. Like, damn it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to start fast. The Blue Jackets absolutely know that. They had a tremendous sense of urgency to start last season. In the way that Rick Bowness talked after that final game of the year, they're going to have their hair on fire to start this season. In the schedule, it's laid out for them now. They see what they're going to be up against. They've got to be ready to go.
We have the expectation. We have the schedule. What about the personnel on this roster? Will we get resolution in the next 30 days for some key members of this Blue Jackets team? We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor The Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County fire station or buy online. For more information, visit 10tv.com/beattheheat or lifecarelines.org.
Awkward time to ask this, but hey, did you download the trail map?
Yeah, no, I don't need to.
I don't understand. You're trusting your signal out here?
Well, I'm trusting T-Mobile. They have the best network. And if we end up in bum-tots nowhere, well, we've got T-Satellite for backup.
Whoa, I don't trust my carrier that much.
We'll just use your phone as a flashlight.
With America's best network and T-Satellite, we're keeping you connected in places you never thought possible. And if you switch today, you get free phones for $0 down and only $25 a month per line for 4 lines. Find out more at T-Mobile.com or visit your local store.
Best mobile network based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025 with 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials. For well-qualified customers with auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 connection charge per line. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement example $299.99 Moto Edge 5G required. T-Satellite available with compatible device in most outdoor areas in the U.S. where you can see the sky. Included with experience beyond or $10 a month. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver. Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you the chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join a league, or bring the office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great food and drinks here or next door at Agave and Rye. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who's got what it takes. Book your race today at outlawsimracing.com.
When it's too hot to go out, it's definitely too hot for your AC to go out. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Pros are here to help. We offer fast repair and AC replacement for any cooling system when you need it. Plus, we're a premier Lennox dealer and can install an energy-efficient system for a great price. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit us online at thewaterworks.com. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
Every summer morning is different. Luckily, Tim Hortons has a breakfast wrap for every morning. Kick off your summer with the bold new steak and egg wrap. Start your morning fresh with the egg white and Swiss wrap. Or keep it classic with the grilled breakfast wrap. No matter what summer mood you're in, you can always find a wrap at Tim Hortons. Your morning happy place.
It doesn't have to be the holidays for you to donate to a Salvation Army Red Kettle. Now through August 1st, you can give a little, change a lot. The Salvation Army is partnering with Atlas Butler and Jets Pizza to support local families at participating Kroger and Walmart stores. SalvationArmyCentralOhio.org for locations.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment is like driving the entire length of a football field blind. Don't let those few seconds distract you from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
Relax and let Kroger Delivery handle your grocery shopping this week. We start with only the freshest items. Then carefully pack your order in our refrigerated trucks. And our cool trucks keep your food fresh right to your door. Fresh groceries your way with Kroger Delivery. And right now, you can save $20 on your first delivery order. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman, and for the longest time, I figured the less I did, the less I'd hurt. Well, I figured wrong. Something always happens, and when it does, I've always gone to Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. They rank #1 in Ohio and top 5 in the nation for orthopedics. So whether you're struggling with ongoing pain or facing a sudden orthopedic injury, you can always schedule an appointment directly with their physicians. No referral required. Start with the specialists. Start at orthopedic1.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Common Man and Tinny are inviting select jabronis to the station for pizza. Hey, that could be you. Email goodcleanboy@gmail.com and tell us why you should be chosen.
Presented by Billiards Plus and sponsored by Paisano Peppers.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Saturday. You've got dry conditions on your hands, but we do have chance of rain returning back into our forecast later this afternoon. Timing for that, I'm expecting around noon up until 4 or 5 o'clock today, and that's mainly going to be in our southern counties, but that doesn't count out an isolated shower or two for the rest of our area. Once that rain's out of here, though, you are dry the rest of this evening and dry up until later this week. I'm your 10 Weather Impact meteorologist, Lily Aldrich, with 97.1 The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so while the three of us may be annoying, one of us in particular is annoyed. I'm trying to do a award-eligible sports talk radio program, and I've got Dylan and Nate. All they can focus on is that damn Christopher Nolan film that just came out.
Trying to keep it to the breaks as much as possible.
What are we doing?
As much as possible. I don't know. I can't stop thinking about it.
I mean, your first mistake was trying for an award-winning...
Award eligible. That's what we're doing here. The macaroni people are listening.
What gets you award eligible? At least 55 shows?
No, just turning on
by NBA standards?
I think we just turn on the mics and it's award eligible. Any bit of audio we can send in and they'll look at it.
You know what's award eligible? The Odyssey. Jeez.
I walked
How many awards will that win this year?
All. Every.
If a film comes out in 26, it's eligible for 27 Oscar consideration. Do I have that right?
As long as it's by November, yes.
So Dune 3 not eligible?
Yeah, it'll be eligible for next year.
Yeah, it's like the Super Bowl, right? All the season is played during 2025 and the Super Bowl is awarded in 2026.
Send all the awards to Christopher Nolan now? Because I'm assuming, or to Matt Damon, or to... I'm forgetting her name. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. She was also in another Christopher Nolan film. She was Catwoman.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, thank you. See, that's
you actually have to clarify in this movie, considering who's all in it.
Zendaya's also in it.
Yeah, so it's a packed cast. I'm not sure we're going to see any acting awards from this movie. Maybe save one guy. Again, I'm not going to spoil this for Nate. Not going to spoil this for Nate, but like all the other awards, score, cinematography, directing, all of that, it's Nolan's to lose.
Is it one of his best films?
One of. Yeah,
he's got a who's who in terms of greatest of all time.
Oh, like it's an absolutely insane filmography. I was looking at it during the break. I wouldn't say it's not the best.
Okay.
I will say this again. I said it off the top of the show. It is not the best Christopher Nolan movie, but the absolute scale of it it's just scene after scene where it's like an Avengers movie, but cool old stuff. It's just so big. Like it's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's just so cool.
So in 2 weeks you've got Spider-Man, the third one in the Tobey Maguire, or not Tobey Maguire, damn.
Fourth.
Who is the fourth one in the? Who's the new Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. I can't keep it together.
Tom Holland and Zendaya in the new Spider-Man, both in the Odyssey.
No, he's not in Dune. He might as well be like one of the. They should do. If Tom Holland's going to have truly like the year of film, they put him as like one of the troopers in Dune. And
Zendaya's in everything.
I know she's in all of it, and just have him get killed off like in the first segment of the movie. So Dune's $250 million was the budget. Spider-Man, I don't know if it's as close to that in terms of budget for the film. But yeah, has there been for one actor a summer where you have two of the biggest movies ever made come out? Because the Marvel films, it does feel like they get bigger and they cost more and they're a bigger cinematic experience the more they come out. And I know this Spider-Man Brand New Day cast has a ton of who's who in it as well.
Spider-Man's estimated to be between 200 and 250.
That's the budget?
Yeah.
Jeez. And so for the Odyssey, did it feel like a $250 million film?
100%.
Because like Christopher Nolan uses legit, like he doesn't do much in the way of CGI. Like everything's real.
Yeah, there's a couple of like unbelievable things that in the movie you're watching them and you're like, there's no way this can be real. And then you like look at, reviews or whatever, people talking about it, and they're like, oh, no, that was real. They actually did that. What?
Because this is the time of the year, right? You got to come out with the big box office hits.
Mm-hmm.
And I look to The Rock and I go, were they really clamoring for a live action Moana 2 weeks before the Odyssey and then the new Spider-Man came out? Because didn't Moana just have a second animated release?
Yes, it is out right now. The only thing, Tom Cruise, the last Mission Impossible didn't come out the same year as Top Gun Maverick, did it?
No.
Because that would be one where Tom Cruise could be in two bangers in the same year.
The last Mission Impossible didn't really do all that well.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was fun.
I like the Mission Impossible series.
Usually those are pretty good box offices, and that one just kind of tanked.
So Tom Cruise is, I would call him the headliner for tomorrow's World Cup final outside of Lionel Messi or Lamine Yamal. Maybe the third, fourth on the billing.
Is the president going to be there?
I think so.
He's giving the trophy.
He's down on that list. Even FIFA's president is down on that list because it's Tom Cruise.
I Show Speed is very popular, too.
With the youth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post Malone. So they're doing a closing ceremony before the match, like at 1:30 outside of MetLife or outside of New York, New Jersey Stadium. And I Show Speed's going to be part of it. Post Malone's the headliner. And a special appearance by Tom Cruise. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I also feel, and I said this in the last hour of the program, that now Tom Cruise can't just do anything half-baked. Like, he's got to be the guy to jump out of an airplane, pending the weather's good, pending the smoke. There's not too much smoke in the air because he is older. He's got to jump out of an airplane with no parachute and then find the parachute midair with the FIFA trophy and present the match ball to Spain.
Do you think that's what he's going to do? Like a stunt
I'm trying to talk it into existence.
I would completely think that would.
Yeah, like I don't think it makes
parachute in somehow.
I don't think it makes sense.
He can't just Tom Cruise can't just show up to things.
Are they going to announce a new Mission Impossible in doing this? Because, like I told you, he's got this new movie coming out, but it's a dark comedy. He's like not an action star at all. So are we going to get a new Top Gun? Is he going to?
Oh no, there's another Top Gun coming.
Like it's gonna be that the scene from Top Gun Maverick where they have to
like the trailer.
He's going to unleash the soccer ball into a target on the middle of the field.
Sure, like make this a big production, pending you getting through all of the smoke of the Canadian wildfires. So that's tomorrow at 3:00. The actual match itself, Spain and Argentina, which is going to be cinema. I think if you've given it enough time between when England was bounced by Argentina and especially long enough time to where France was defeated by Spain, you've got two teams in the losers of the semifinals that dislike each other enough with enough rivalry to make today's third place game slightly more compelling than you would have thought post it's not coming home.
Mm-hmm.
A third place game's a weird spot, especially in a tournament like this that's been going on for 2 months. Are the players not excited? I know it was the German manager for England said after their loss, their 2-1, they blew it. They blew it in the biggest way possible to Argentina. I mean, they played prevent defense for 30 minutes. But he said, like, how are the players going to get up for a game like this? And maybe that's the emotions of losing a game like that and the time frame where you're just removed from it. I can't think about a third place game, but maybe now it's something that could have a little bit more juice.
I mean,
it's weird, though.
The World Cup means so much to these guys, and I'm with you. Like, I understand it. When it comes down to it, means nothing. But I do think there's a sense of national pride for these guys. Like, you saw Jude Bellingham in tears after, like, every game when the crowd would be singing Hey Jude. You know what I mean? Like, it means something to these guys. It really does. I don't know how much the third place game is going to matter or where the effort is going to be, et cetera, but they're competitors at the end of the day, and I think you would want to win for your country. Like you said, at least this brings a little bit more intrigue and rivalry than, you know, us watching something like Belgium versus the Netherlands. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much intrigue there would be there, but at least you have the fanfare of two large countries that are traditional soccer powers with a ton of star power on the field. Like, you have Mbappe for France, and you've got Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham for England. That's compelling, at least to me.
There's times I love doing this job, and it's after Ohio State, Michigan. It's after an Ohio State big game. I had envy for sports talk radio hosts and content creators in England post their loss to Argentina. Because the callers, the social media interaction must have been insane. Like, they don't probably want Thomas Tuchel managing today because they wanted him sacked earlier in the week. And that's also a great phrase when you talk about firing somebody.
Got to sack the
gaffer. I wish so much that we had for these things. I don't wish for the English breakfast. I don't wish for their weather. But I wish for some of their sports terminology. Because there's just nothing. There's for me, a week before the World Cup, Dylan, I didn't think I'd have any interest in this thing at all. I thought, Team USA would have a decent showing, but I didn't think they'd win in the knockout stage. I thought they'd make it to the knockout stage, and great. You got Mauricio Pochettino with a decision this week whether he wants to remain the manager at Team USA, and I think he should. I think you've got to have some serious roster conversations, more serious than I'm comfortable having just being the soccer layperson.
Right.
But I found myself hooked, and I've been hooked through this whole thing. And I will likely tune in to see how it looks between England and France, I should say, today at 5 o'clock. But I'm absolutely going to be watching tomorrow's final.
What do you think it means for the future of soccer in the United States? Because I saw a quote out there that somebody from USA Soccer said that within the next decade, I think, they believe soccer will be the second largest sport in the United States behind the NFL. I don't know if I can get behind that.
I've heard that for 30 years.
It's right. After every one of these international tournaments.
Like, I think if there was a conversation right after the United States was eliminated by Belgium that, soccer in the U.S. had lost momentum because of that. And I'm sure we would be talking differently if the United States had made it to the semifinal or were somehow still in it going to the final. Like, it would be, obviously, the nation would be abuzz. But now that things have cooled off a little bit, it still feels like there's that appetite for soccer to me, or there's an interest in the sport just because it's here.
So, yeah.
As long as they keep being good going forward.
I think you've got the CONCACAF. I think you got Gold Cup is their next international opportunity for Team USA.
Yeah, like, is that where it's at for... Like, I'm a soccer layperson, too, and I would kind of say that that's where it's at for me, that if you go to some of these other international events and continue to show well, you're like, okay, we're building something.
I think that has to be the next thing, where is you need to make a better showing in the next one, and then make a better, and then because you got 2030 is, not, it's 4 years is going to be here before you know it. And I think that Spain, Morocco, Portugal are going to be doing that. They're going to expand the World Cup again. I think.
Does the actual Team USA, though, have to be good for soccer in the United States to gain popularity?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just something that I'm pondering, because with this all being on United States turf right now, I just feel like people see...
I think that puts a magnifying glass on it.
Americans see what the crowd is like and the fanfare is like and what the players are like and how much people care about it, and they say, oh, that's cool. So I'm just curious to see when that all goes away, when this leaves American soil, will people still care the same way? Because I know people have their Premier League teams here, and they watch soccer overseas, and there are people that care about it a lot. I'll just be curious to see if that interest is still there in soccer when this is all done.
I think it gets vaporized, and I'll explain why in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on the Fan.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is Mary at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
Hi, I've been dreaming of having an epic college setup.
But your college budget is less than epic.
Way less.
Well, with IKEA, you can get everything you need for college, from bedding to storage and decor, all at a great price.
That's good economics.
Sounds like someone just found their major.
Visit IKEA in-store or at IKEA.us to get ready for college. IKEA, dream the possibilities.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's time for sun and savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, get a new 2060 Elantra SE for $59 per month for a 2-year lease. Just $59 a month for the drive into summer sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit $39.95 down. Plus tax, title, first month's payment. 7,500 miles per year. Ends 8/3.
At CEC Turf and Tractor, family means everything. That's why we're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations to the CEC family. We're honored to carry on the relationships Green & Sons has built in these communities for generations while expanding our ability to serve you with more parts, more inventory, and faster response times. As one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers, CEC Turf and Tractor is growing without losing sight of what matters most: hardworking people, trusted relationships, and hometown service. Visit CECturfandtractor.com today for all your Kubota needs.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Trying to do a sports talk radio program, and the damn Christopher Nolan movie talk has me feeling like Odysseus. I'm just trying to get home, and you're taking me on a different direction. You're taking me 19 years out of the way. Because I think we had...
Humble brag that you have read the Odyssey
conversation.
There, by the way. This guy knows what he's talking about.
USC's social media admin doesn't, has not read the Odyssey. It's not figured out what actually happens in that, where you're rooting for the Greeks.
97.1, the Fan host is educated. Headline.
Well, in 2026, anybody can have a podcast, and you get a little bit more saturation of people who haven't opened a book in a long time.
Good for you, Rieser. Good for you. You know what you're talking about.
What even we teased about, and then you guys couldn't stop talking about the damn popcorn bucket movie. It was...
We're talking soccer, man.
We're talking the football, and where you have the World Cup final Sunday. I think LeBron James is looking at this and saying, all right, come Monday, here's my decision, because he wants all the attention on him, because this is LeBron, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's LeBron. And, you have a family member that is sometimes... acting out, and that sometimes is dramatic. You go, I love them. They're insane, but I love them, and I accept all of it that comes with it.
At least you know what you're getting.
As a Cavs fan, I love LeBron, and I accept everything that comes with it. So come Monday, I would love it if it was the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I think he's doing the dance to make it post-World Cup so the attention goes back to him.
Absolutely.
But you would ask the question about soccer and the fervor of the World Cup because it was in America, because it had so much international flavor, and social media it took over. Every conversation was about, at least in the group stage, was about Euros who would come to America and they're experiencing America for the first time, and how great that was to have conversations about guys finding out what a Buc-ee's is, or guys like Erling Haaland with his new taxidermy collection. Only really in Texas are you going to get stuff like that. But after Sunday, after Argentina or Spain hoist the World Cup, that's going to be vaporized in terms of our national psyche and what we as sports fans care about. And would you like to know why?
I can't wait. To your point, I cannot wait.
I've maintained that the NFL is going to try to create a new day on the calendar so that they can play football games on it. From earlier this week, Roger Goodell is eyeing an NFL game in Japan. He told reporters he's got about 10 countries on his radar. The NFL is the ultimate sports eye of Sauron, and it's going to try to see and conquer all. And so for the World Cup, for everything we love about it, it will find out what the NHL finds, what the NHL has realized, what the NBA has realized, what college football even has realized. There's one king in this country, and everybody else takes in a pecking order under it. And you're speaking to three diehards who, it does not matter when the Browns play, I'm watching. It does not matter when the Chicago Bears play, Dylan, you're watching. It does not matter when the Cincinnati Bengals play, begrudgingly, you're probably watching.
I'm probably watching.
We had on the Daily Fan poll earlier this week, sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, which congrats to the guys at JT's Pizza and Pub. I think they were ranked as the third best sports bar and grill this week in the country.
That location in Grandview is
So awesome.
It is sweet.
Even their Linworth one's great, but I can walk to the one in Grandview. So extra perks for Eric. But fantastic pizza, fantastic wings. If you need a place to go watch Sunday's final, I'd recommend that. And NFL games.
I was going to say, great place for NFL Sundays or a college football Saturday.
But the Daily Fan poll had asked, would you be interested, would you watch a consolation game in the NFL? So you have the NFC, the AFC championship games. The losers there would play in a third place game the Saturday before the NFL. And there was like 50% of respondents to that thing. We had a couple hundred votes, said that they would not. And I came on Friday morning and I said, they're liars.
No way.
You would absolutely watch a consolation NFL game. Now, I don't think it'll ever happen because you would have to collectively bargain it. You'd have to make it worth the players' whiles to do it. And I think the NFL and the Players Association have too many things already at the tops of their list in terms of negotiating back and forth for things in the CBA, that this consolation game wouldn't be near where Goodell would place importance because he's trying to go to Japan. And you're trying to get every team overseas once a season. You're trying to get an extra game on the NFL regular season. So you have to make you have to acquiesce at some places. A consolation which wouldn't fit that.
If you told me today that you were replacing the Pro Bowl with the third place game, I would sign up immediately.
I mean, we watch bowl games that don't matter still. Like, I know bowl games have lost their importance tremendously, but they are still played because there is still a TV audience. You know what I'm like? People will watch no matter what. That you're completely lying. If you there's another game that you can gamble on. There's another game that you can watch. There's another game you can gamble on.
A week with no football?
Yeah, exactly. Like in the middle of the summer, next week, we have nothing but MLB. You're telling me you wouldn't watch a football game when there's nothing else going on? Come on. And like you said, you would have to make it worth the player's while because NFL players would never, ever play that game if it meant nothing. But if it meant something, people would, I mean, it would be one of the most viewed games of the NFL season. Like we watched a crappy, what was the Chiefs game on Christmas last year? Or was it the night before Thanksgiving? I can't recall which Chiefs game was played without Patrick Mahomes. They had a third string quarterback playing in prime time. I think it was the Netflix game, so it must have been Christmas. I can't recall specifically, but there was a Chiefs game when Patrick Mahomes was not playing. And it was a primetime game, and it probably did insane ratings.
The Hall of Fame game is one of the most useless games in all of sports, and
I turn it on every year. I turn it on every year because I'm like, football's back. Oh, uniforms are back on a field. Cool. Every year.
So it would have been the game with against the Denver Broncos. Chiefs, their third string quarterback, Chris Oladokin.
Yeah, Oladukin. Yeah, I remember that game. Yep. That's the game that I'm referencing.
And I don't think they did the kind of numbers they were hoping for because obviously Mahomes isn't on the marquee, but it still did better than most college football games.
What day was that played? Do you have it there?
So December 25th.
Yep, that was the Christmas game.
Was that
Christmas game on Netflix? You put it on in the background after you open up the gifts.
So that's what we did. So my girlfriend and I went out to where did we went somewhere with wine for Christmas and ended up at a diner watching Chiefs, Broncos, watching. We went to Napa, the place for wine, and found a diner that was open on Christmas Day. And I think it was Vikings and Lions, and they were on the televisions. Mm-hmm. And there was maybe 100 people there that, were also ignoring their families on Christmas like us, but just drinking, eating, and watching the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of your national fabric.
It's on.
Part of the reason why Goodell's looking at other countries and saying, yes, we'd like to play a game on your continent, despite any interest from Japanese, any interest from Brazilians, any interest from the Scottish, any interest from the English in this thing?
Think about an NFL game in the Tokyo Dome, though. Like you see Japanese baseball and the tradition that goes on. That surrounding an NFL game could be very, very cool.
Only if in the Tokyo Dome you could get the Stinger to come out and Stinger splash a referee. Or only if I could get Antonio Inoki. I know some of these wrestling, either they go over your head or they've even passed away, to come out and hit somebody with a chair.
I'm going to Japan in a couple of weeks. I will be the fans' boots on the ground reporter, and I will gauge Japanese interest in the National Football League and report back.
I'm trying to do a better job with the clock. I need the reason and what you're expecting to do in Japan. Also, Caleb Williams, a top 10 NFL quarterback. That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Big celebrations call for even bigger savings. Diamonds Direct is celebrating 30 years of sharing life's biggest moments with you with up to 30% off select styles, with 15% off virtually everything else in the showroom. The Diamonds Direct anniversary sale is only through July 26th, and we don't want you to miss it. Whether you've been waiting for the right moment or you just found your reason, this is it. Come find yours before the sale ends. Visit diamondsdirect.com or find a store near you.
Making ends meet matters for Ohio families. Congressman Mike Carey is working to help you keep more of what you earn and get the benefits you deserve. Mike Carey supported the Social Security Fairness Act, helping ensure public servants like teachers, firefighters, and police officers receive the full benefits they've earned. and Mike Carey is working to deliver tax relief for more Ohioans. Congressman Carey backed historic tax cuts for working families and seniors. That plan eliminated taxes on tips and overtime, expanded the child tax credit, and provided thousands in tax relief for Ohio seniors. Because whether you're working, raising a family, or planning for retirement, every dollar matters. Visit carey.house.gov to learn more or get help accessing benefits or dealing with a federal agency. Congressman Carey's office is here to help and fighting to help your family keep more of what you earn. Paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Mike Carey.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Did you know you can save up to $35 on your next fill-up? Redeem your points for big savings at the pump. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Summer is here, and there's no better time to upgrade your ride than at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Whether you're towing the boat, heading to the lake, or planning the ultimate family road trip, now's the time to save. Get $299 APR financing for up to 72 months on the 2026 Toyota Tundra, or lease the 2026 Camry LE for just $319 a month for 36 months and $399 due at signing and 10,000 miles per year. Make this your summer adventure with the team at Germain Toyota of Columbus, conveniently located at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or shop anytime at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus, where summer savings are in full swing.
Every summer morning is different. Luckily, Tim Hortons has a breakfast wrap for every morning. Kick off your summer with the bold new steak and egg wrap. Start your morning fresh with the egg white and Swiss wrap. Or keep it classic with the grilled breakfast wrap. No matter what summer mood you're in, you can always find a wrap at Tim Hortons. Your morning happy place.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot is $526 million. But who's counting? Everybody. That's who. Get tickets today for your chance at $526 million before the next Powerball jackpot hits. If scratching is more your style, check out the new $50 Millionaire Blowout Scratch-Off for a shot at $1 million instantly. Or pick up any Ohio Lottery scratch-off to put a little play in your day. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
Save big in all of your electrical projects when you shop at Menards. Zero Wire is an American-owned leading manufacturer of electrical building wire for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Menards stocks convenient pre-cut lengths of wiring products for both indoor and outdoor projects. Save big on electrical wire and cable products at Menards. Plus, visit menards.com to view our weekly flyer and check out all of the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Craving the O? Now it comes to you. For loyal fans, the O on Lane is now offering the O on the Go catering delivery. Perfect for the office or any group. Order boxed lunches or group catering right now at theoonlane.com. The O on the Go, delivered fresh, delivered easy.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
Buckeye football fall camp is coming. Will Julian Sayin take his game to the next level? Will Matt Patricia's defense dominate again? Join us live for training camp fun starting Thursday, August 6th. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so if the NFL on CBS theme tickled you where you feel it the most, how about this one? to make fun of soccer or any of the other sports in this country, but we had the conversation
I can hear Joe Buck's voice right now.
Welcoming you to the NFL on Fox.
Well, not anymore, I guess,
but we grew up in a time where this was the biggest game of the week now. Now it's Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt. Well, I like Kevin Burkhardt. Yeah. Tom Brady, I think, is fine.
He came on towards the end of last season. He got a lot better.
He also, I saw yesterday, took a slap from Logan Paul.
I did see that.
Fest. And I like the NFL, Fanatics feels like the blob on Main Street that's eating everything. Because also Tom Brady threw a football at Gronk, who was sitting above a vat of Cane's dipping sauce. I'm like, we're selling everything, aren't we? Again, it's just everything's for the almighty dollar. Because now Tom Brady's going to get into a WWE ring, also partnered with Fanatics, and he's going to fight Logan Paul probably. Like, don't they have an event that they've got to sell tickets to?
Conor McGregor will be there before long too.
He'll be hobbling out there with a knee brace on. Yeah, I saw that ended in 65 seconds, and it is something though that the NFL is recession proof. And those associated with the NFL, because of that association with the National Football League, they're damn recession proof. They say they want to go to Japan because they've got it figured out how they're going to get to Japan. Now, you're not going to Japan for the NFL, although you might in a couple of years when it happens. But you're going for just vacation?
For leisure. We're gonna go across Japan for 2 weeks. We're going on August 24th, and we're gonna come back on September 7th, just in time for NFL Week 1, which I'm very excited about. I was hoping we might catch a couple NFL games when we were over there and have to stay up early and watch from a bar in Japan, an izakaya, if you will. But no, we're going for vacation. I'm a big fan of just learning about different cultures and cuisine. Japan has long been a fascination of mine for whatever reason, so very excited to go over and see what it's like.
So there's a chance you'll be in transit, but only 49 days till Ohio State, Ball State. Would that be an interest to you on vacation watching that?
I always want to watch Ohio State. It's just going to depend kind of how it all shakes out. I would say
it's 12:30 on the Big Ten Network. I don't know if the Big Ten's big out in Japan. Tony Petitti would love to have that.
I assume they've got to have an Ohio State bar somewhere. I can't tell you right now what time it will be in Japan. I can't remember what the time change is. It might be like...
So it's 1:50 in the morning now.
1:30 in the morning tomorrow.
Okay, so...
Yeah. Thank you for that. That's a very important caveat. It's July 19th there.
So it'll be early morning in Japan at that point. Well, I might be out because on September 5th in Japan, we're going to go to a Japanese baseball game. And so that would be around, I would assume, 7 or whatever. So if I'm maybe out at a bar at 2 a.m. in Japan, which is a high possibility on September 5th, I very well could be watching the Ohio State game.
Yeah, there's got to be some way we can get you and we can get a dispatch from you out there for this. So we'll have to coordinate the closer we get to that. But that's awesome that you're going to be able to get to experience that. Not necessarily awesome that the NFL is going to try to colonize the world and put a game on every continent. I mean, they've already done that, so now they're going to try every country. I get what Roger Goodell is trying to do. He answers to the owners. He has to make them more money. You go, well, the story of front office sports that we referenced earlier in the show about how the new owners for the Seahawks have $2.8 billion to hand over to the league for the purchase of Seattle. They just have that ready to go. A source, when Front Office Sports did the reporting, told the author of that Front Office Sports article there are too many bleeping billionaires. And so Goodell answers to them. Tony Petitti answers to the athletic director. They're similar jobs. How do I make you the most money as humanly possible? And for NFL teams, I'm trying to think if they're not going to be expanding, I don't think, yet. But if they do, you're looking overseas, I think, is the next NFL expansion for a team.
Now, the way that he's doing it is forcing all these teams to build stadiums. Like, that's what's happening with the Bears right now. There's definitely NFL pressure for them to build a stadium to increase the value of that franchise.
Certainly. And I'm wondering, and I should have been wondering out loud because it makes for better radio, just what their hierarchy is for that. Because it probably, to your point, is the stadium. Brings in the most outside of, the media rights will always go up. So I'm not necessarily sure how much effort you're putting into it, because always people are going to be lining up to give you money to broadcast your games. But the ticket revenue but the merchandise sales, the Sunday tickets that you sell, not the Sunday ticket, but the tickets that sold on Sundays or whatever day of the week they play, I think that's the most important thing for the owners.
The real estate ventures now, too. Like, think about all these stadiums are being built with shopping centers. They're being built with restaurants. They're being built with apartments.
Park Browns.
Yeah.
Because the Browns are a long way off from actually being competitive. So I think to some organizations, you've got to at least be bringing in money. Because for that and the Browns, when they open that stadium, I think a linebacker's face is going to be the more predominant image. Maybe Jared Verse. So Carson Schweschinger and Jared Verse will be your two faces. And
that's something.
It's not what the Buffalo Bills are going to be doing because they got Josh Allen's big old mug. And the Chiefs, whenever they get getting on their new Arrowhead, that Patrick Mahomes, like the quarterback's the face. Like when they go to Gary, the Gary Bears are going to have big old images of Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And the quarterback's the thing that drives everything. Number 10 on ESPN's quarterback rankings list as ranked by coaches, executives, and scouts. You're a Bears fan. Caleb Williams at 10, higher or lower?
Me personally, I would go a little bit higher for Caleb Williams. I just think the upside is insane for a guy like that. The escapability, the clutch factor that he showed. Like, I think, a guy like Baker Mayfield, I think, is orchestrated 12 game-winning drives in his NFL career, something like that. Caleb Williams had 6 last season.
Yeah.
There's something special there with the guy. And like, obviously I'm speaking from a biased perspective because I watch the Chicago Bears every week and I'm a Chicago Bears fan and I feel so hopeful because it feels like they do have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And,
first time in your life?
Yeah. Per recent surveying from The Athletic, the entire fan base is extremely high on Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. But I just think, if Caleb Williams is able to continue to play within structure, which I don't think he gets enough credit for, if he can continue to play within structure, I think he's going to be a really special quarterback. Like, I think he's, the ceiling of a Mahomes or Josh Allen type guy.
Because that's one of the things that, I had talked about with Lincoln Riley. And if he doesn't leave Oklahoma with the quarterback, is he any at all successful early on with USC? Like, the quarterbacks he's had, the structure has been the thing that they don't really play they don't play well in.
Well, right. Caleb Williams won the Heisman at USC. That was a 3-loss season for the Trojans, I think, and it was just him making miracle play after miracle play.
Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield even.
Yeah.
Like the playing in structure's has for those 3 quarterbacks been something that they've had to develop. And in Murray's case, you wonder if that's ever going to come. But with Baker, with the Browns, it was him and Stefanski could never get on the same page because Stefanski needed the structure. And Baker Mayfield will bleep that structure. I got to, run around and make plays happen. And Browns fans will only litigate that breakup forever. But Caleb Williams, I absolutely agree with you, is a top 10 quarterback in the league. And the rankings have Josh Allen 1, Mahomes 2, Stafford 3, Burrow 4, Lamar 5. And I think those are the top 5. I just feel that there's a chasm between 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 5. I'm not willing to put Josh Allen part of that, 1, 2, and 3, because I haven't seen it on the field from him. I know what I'm getting if Patrick Mahomes is healthy. I know what I'm getting if Matthew Stafford. And I mean, even Matthew Stafford's not healthy. I think he's pulled some magic out of his ass.
Yes.
And Joe Burrow, the same. I know tangibly what I've gotten from those 3 with health. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, I would say the last 2 years, respectively, last year for Buffalo, 2 years ago for Baltimore, if you didn't win it then, when were you going to win it? So I think they're top 5 quarterbacks, but I'm not willing to put them in the same conversation with Allen, Mahomes, or with Mahomes, Stafford, and Burrow, excuse me. But Dak Prescott at 6, I think body of work is fine.
That's a little high for a guy like Dak Prescott, I think. And Herbert at 7, too, is crazy to me.
And Justin Herbert would never win anything. And I hope, especially with Jim Harbaugh as his head coach, that
meaningless stats
continues. We cannot continue. We'll talk to you next week on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your